Hello, hello, Shagatanun here. Welcome to Metal Gear Solid Integral, apparently. That's the PC version here. This is going to be the start of a very long project or series where I'm just going to go through the entire series of Metal Gear Solid games, maybe Metal Gear as well. So Metal Gear would take place before these games. We're starting with Metal Gear Solid, and I'm going to run through the entire series, so it's going to be quite a long investment, but I think it's going to be a good time. This is a very story-driven game, of course. There's going to be a lot of dialogue and stuff, and I want to make sure we, can focus on that. So while that's going on, I'm not going to be, talking or engaging as much with chat while, we're in the middle of dialogue or something, but I do read, I will keep up with it. I will respond when I can, but I just want to make sure, keep the whole point of these games is that there's a lot of story, there's a lot of stuff always going on, and you need to be able to digest that, and stop that. You need to be able to digest it and really follow the nuances, and if there's kind of irrelevant discussions going on top of the dialogue, that doesn't really work out. But during gameplay, it's more fair game where we can kind of talk about whatever. And also, how's it going, Tusk? Good to see you here. So let's not waste time because it's going to take a little while to get started here. I want to go through... Actually, not the briefing. Let's cancel that real quick. I wanted to go to the other thing first. We're going to go get the review of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. And then we're going to watch the briefing. So it is going to take a little while to get into the actual game here. But we want to set everything up. So we have previous operations... And we're starting here with Metal Gear. So this game, I can't remember if it came out in '89 or something, but it's set in the year 1995. So this is setting us back, this is setting the stage a little bit. So the year 1995, deep in South Africa, 200 kilometers north of Garsborg, Outer Heaven, an armed fortress nation established by the legendary mercenary. He was feared in combat by both his friends and foes as a hero and a lunatic. The Western nations have found out that a weapon of mass destruction capable of rewriting war history is under development at Outer Heaven. They've called upon the high-tech Special Force Unit Foxhound to take care of the situation. In response to this order, Big Boss, Commander-in-Chief of Foxhound, sent Gray Fox, the man with the codename Fox, which is given to the best member of the unit. Operation Intrude N313. After a few days, his last message being Metal Gear, Gray Fox was missing in action. Taking the situation seriously, the top men of the West again called for Foxhound. Big Boss selected Solid Snake, who's just recently joined Foxhound, as the agent and entrusted everything to him. Successfully making a solo infiltration to Outer Heaven, Snake got in touch with local resistance members Schneider, Diane, and Jennifer. With their cooperation, Snake succeeded in rescuing Gray Fox. Gray Fox then laid out the terrifying facts about Metal Gear. Metal Gear was the development name of a nuclear, warhead-equipped, two-legged walking tank. It can walk through even the roughest terrains that would stop normal tanks. It can conduct local warfare by itself with unique weapons like its Vulcan cannon and anti-tank missiles. It was indeed a new type of weapon that can conduct a nuclear attack against any place on the face of the Earth from any land surface. With Metal Gear, Outer Heaven was trying to establish its military superiority over the entire world. In order to destroy Metal Gear, Snake rescued Metal Gear's chief engineer, Dr. Petrovic, and his daughter Ellen, who was taken hostage to force her father to continue with his development. Snake hears from Dr. Petrovic how to destroy Metal Gear. However, as Snake approached the heart of Outer Heaven and Metal Gear, well-designed traps are set all around Snake, as if all his actions are being leaked to the enemy. In the midst of the escalating battle, the leader of the resistance, Schneider, fell into the hands of the enemy, and Snake himself was injured through the deadly battles with Outer Heaven's best mercenaries. But Snake's indomitable spirit led him to the 100th floor basement of the secret base where Metal Gear was developed. Evading the powerful defense system that wipes out all intruders, Snake ultimately succeeded in destroying Metal Gear. Snake tried to escape from Outer Heaven upon completing the mission. However, during the escape, he was confronted by one man, Foxhound Commander-in-Chief Big Boss. Big Boss laughed at the astounded Snake and told him the truth about his mission. While serving as the commander-in-chief of Foxhound, Big Boss also ran a mercenary dispatch company utilizing his connections and capital from his years as a merc. He was planning to build this company a larger military establishment, and he built Outer Heaven as its base. His purpose for sending the rookie Snake to Outer Heaven was to cause information confusion against the West. However, Big Boss miscalculated. He never thought that Snake would make it this far. Having lost Metal Gear, Big Boss activated the self-destruction system of the underground base. While the countdown to destruction continued, his scream echoed in the emptiness. "You've gone too far! Too far!" On the 100th floor basement, the battle between the two men commenced, free of ideology and politics. The armed forces nation, Outer Heaven, collapsed. The impenetrable fortress made from the best military technology and occupied by the toughest mercenaries burned in flames. Behind him, the flames reached skyward, as Outer Heaven fell, leaving Solid Snake all alone. Alright, so a couple things that aren't mentioned here, gameplay-wise, as you're going through Metal Gear, Big Boss kind of leads you into traps and stuff, and it gets a little weird, and that's before you really know that he's actually working against you, but there's things that are happening in the way that kind of start making that suggestion, so it is pretty cool. And yeah, basically at the end of the game, you fight Big Boss, and you kill him. The flames reached skyward as Outer Heaven fell, leaving Solid Snake all alone. I'm doing okay, Tusk. I have a headache. I think it's going away. I woke up with it, so it's whatever. Should be going away. I'm excited to be playing this, so I'm excited to be playing all of these games again. I've played all of them, most of them many times. It's been a little while since I've replayed this one, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. I've been really wanting to replay specifically Metal Gear Solid 5 for a few months now, and I thought I should just do them all. That'll be a lot of fun. So it's going to be a while before we get to Metal Gear Solid 5. Probably a month and a half, 2 months or something, and then it's going to be a good time. All right, so that was Metal Gear, 1995, Outer Heaven. Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. In 1999, the world was facing an energy crisis. It was obvious that the supply of petroleum would run out faster than expected. However, the development of an alternate energy resource is far from completion. The price of petroleum has skyrocketed and the world economy is in confusion. The 21st century was expected to be one of chaos. One man's invention changed the entire situation. A Czech genius and biologist, Dr. Kio Marv, invented Oilex, a microorganism. Oops, I hit a button on the back of the controller by accident. A Czech genius and biologist, Dr. Kio Marv, invented Oilex, a microorganism that refines petroleum to produce a highly purified form of petroleum. The world was filled with hope upon the discovery of this messiah to solve the energy crisis. But at the same time, the world entered a time of tension regarding this new algae. Just when the whole world's attention was drawn to Oilex and Dr. Marv, he was abducted by someone and disappeared. Nations began investigations immediately, and a name soon appeared: Zanzibar Land. Zanzibar Land was a democratic military regime that suddenly appeared in Central Asia in 1997. When their uprising took place, the CIS army formed around Russia sent a suppressive unit immediately. Zanzibar Land resisted by gathering a band of mercenaries from nations around the world and fortifying most of its land. As a result, the CIS army was repeatedly defeated, and Zanzibar Land declared its independence. Due to the active role mercenaries played, this war was called the Mercenary War, and Zanzibar Land was referred to as an armed fortress nation. A military nation with a group of strong mercenaries surrounded by a tough fortress. According to the latest information, Zanzibar supposedly was armed with nuclear weapons. The whole scenario was crystal clear. By obtaining Oilex in addition to nuclear weapons, Zanzibar Land was trying to establish its economic and military superiority over the entire world. Concerned about the situation, the United States ordered Roy Campbell, Commander-in-Chief of High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound, to rescue Dr. Marv. So now we have Roy Campbell's in charge of Foxhound, no longer Big Boss, well, he's dead. But Roy Campbell. So Campbell was a former member of Foxhound. He brought back Solid Snake, the man who single-handedly brought down the armed fortress nation of Outer Heaven 4 years ago, and asked Snake to bring back both Dr. Marv and Oilex. Successfully infiltrating Zanzibar Land, and with the help of CIA agent Hori and others, I think the name is Holly. I guess that's a mistranslation. I think the name has been, in further versions of the games, they've changed it to Holly. Snake was able to go deep into the fortress and meet again with Dr. Petrovic, the chief engineer of Metal Gear at Outer Heaven. He too was abducted to Zanzibar land and was forced to develop another Metal Gear. He told the surprised Snake of an even more shocking fact. Big Boss, the man Snake had defeated at Outer Heaven, turned out to be the general commander of Zanzibar land. Snake rescued Dr. Petrovic in cooperation with Natasha, Dr. Marv's guard and former Czech International Secret Police agent, and then headed for the confinement facility deep in the fortress to save Dr. Marv. When Dr. Petrovic and Natasha crossed the narrow suspension bridge over the deep valley, a missile blew the bridge away. Natasha flew into the air because of the explosion. While unable to do anything to save Natasha, Snake started hearing a well-known voice. "Hey, Snake, we're good buddies. I can let you go. Just leave this place at once." Gray Fox. Snake saw Gray Fox controlling Metal Gear, the best soldier in Foxhound who, after the fall of Outer Heaven, disappeared as if he followed Big Boss. Losing Natasha in front of his eyes and letting Petrovic get taken away, Snake screamed, "Fox, I will not give up!" After a series of deadly battles with mercenaries, Snake finally made it to Dr. Marv's confinement facility. However, he arrived too late. He saw Dr. Marv's corpse and Petrovic, who could do nothing but stand there. Petrovic told Snake that Dr. Marv could not withstand the repeated tortures because of heart problems. Snake then received an emergency call from Holly. The information she supplied was very shocking. Petrovic had been voluntarily visiting Zanzibar land to develop Metal Gear. The abduction of Dr. Marv was conducted under the directions of Petrovic himself. After the truth came out, Petrovic attacked Snake, but Snake easily put an end to him and obtained the structural plan of Ocelot. While trying to escape, Snake was confronted by Metal Gear again, controlled by Gray Fox. The tremendous battle took place in the underground base. Snake finally succeeded in destroying Metal Gear. However, Gray Fox did not submit and challenged Snake to the final battle. In the midst of a minefield, Snake and Fox fought without any weapons, a fist-to-fist duel involving no hatred or murder intent. During that weird moment of purity, the two men were bound by forces transcending words and emotion. Snake won the tough but pure battle against Gray Fox. However, there was still someone else Snake had to fight. Big Boss. Just like 4 years ago at Outer Heaven, Big Boss was waiting for Snake. One who has experienced the tension of battle can never leave the battlefield. I am the one giving you something to live for, and that is war. Snake was infuriated at the arrogant Big Boss. There's only one battle I have to fight, to free myself from you, to shatter the nightmare. Big Boss, I will kill you. With the structural plan of Ocelot, Snake and Holly escaped from Zanzibar land on a rescue helicopter. Snake once again saved the world. However, there was no smile on his face. Big Boss's last words kept ringing in Snake's head. Whoever wins, our battle does not end. The loser is freed from the battlefield, but the winner must remain there, and the survivor must live his life as a warrior until he dies. Snake then disappeared into the white lands of Alaska, alone. All right, so a lot of stuff goes on there. We have Roy Campbell being the new commander of Foxhound after the death of Big Boss in Metal Gear, except it turns out that Big Boss is the leader of the Zanzibar land uprising, so he didn't die, but now he's dead because we killed him here in Metal Gear 2. Gray Fox went from being an ally in Metal Gear to being an enemy in Metal Gear 2, but they didn't fight with murderous intent. They were kind of like weird friends on the battlefield. So they weren't like necessarily hating each other, but they were just working on different sides of the coin. So they just had to fight, and that's just how it went. So a lot of stuff going on here. We have 2 Metal Gears now, of course. That's the name of the game, the name of the franchise. So we have 2 Metal Gears that have both been defeated by Snake. It definitely seems like, everybody wants to make their own Metal Gear. Let's make this walking tank that shoots nuclear weapons and does all this cool stuff. That seems to be like, everyone thinks that's the answer, right? We can make a Metal Gear, we can control everything because we have the most power. We also have this whole thing about Oilex, like oil, petroleum is running out, so let's make an algae that makes more of it for us, right? Makes these hydrocarbons and does all this cool stuff. Maybe we'll hear more about that, maybe we won't. That's just the quick rundown of the previous 2 games. Now we're going to get a briefing for this game, which is going to be It's going to be a little lengthy, but there's a lot of cool information in there. I'm just going to let this kind of simmer. I might chime in from time to time, but we're just going to let this kind of simmer and speak on its own, you know? Mission description. I already kind of jacked it up by opening this earlier by accident, but we can start from the beginning.
It's been a long time, Snake.
I should have known you were behind this, Colonel.
That's no way to greet an old war buddy, Snake.
What do you want from me?
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you. But we've got a serious situation here. Only you can get us out of it.
I'm retired from Foxhound. You're not my commander anymore, and I don't have to take orders from you or anyone else.
You will take these orders. I know it.
Excuse me.
Who's this?
Dr. Naomi Hunter. She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff and an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
No, civilian. I've been sent here from ATGC. Pleasure to meet you, Snake. Don't worry, this injection won't hurt a bit.
What's the shot for?
What's wrong? You don't like shots?
Snake, listen up. It all went down 5 hours ago. Heavily armed soldiers occupied Shadow Moses Island, a remote island off the coast of Alaska.
What soldiers?
Next Generation Special Forces, led by members of Unit Foxhound. They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon?
I'm afraid so. You see, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, and the president of ArmsTech, Kenneth Baker. They're both being held as hostages.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do. Any questions, Snake?
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
So one thing that I noticed is ATGC, I forget what the GC stands for, but it's ArmsTech, and we just heard about ArmsTech, right? It's like the genetic arm of ArmsTech. That's a weird way to say it, but it's like the genetic side of them, I believe. And I like ATGC. I would bet money that that's a reference to adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. Is it cytosine? I think so. Which are like the like building blocks of DNA, right? ATGC. Just an interesting observation there. If that's the genetics wing of ArmsTech, and they, you know, just happen to have that abbreviation.
Tell me about the nuclear weapon disposal facility.
The disposal facility includes a hardened underground base. Even with our most advanced intelligence gathering equipment, we can't tell what's happening inside.
So someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back. Sounds like a spy movie. What's the insertion method?
Well, an air insertion is impossible.
Not with this storm going on.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
Approach?
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities. They'd be able to hear our engine or propeller noise.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV.
Launch?
Same as a torpedo, only this has no propulsion device of its own. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
All right, our infiltration method. Time limit.
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
We skipped
Do
forward,
they say
though.
what the target will be?
So far, they haven't mentioned the target.
When did the countdown start?
5 hours ago.
Yeah, so we're having to go through, like, bit by bit, and you can see the time on the upper left when we're in these. So, person in charge of the operation.
Colonel, who are you speaking for?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
Which means that the President must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point, they're still video conferencing with each other.
If that's a real nuclear warhead, shouldn't they issue a COG?
Not yet. The Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation. After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities, a COG will be issued.
Well, if they haven't relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington, I suppose there isn't that much reason to worry yet. Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes. So is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
The DIA? I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
Is it camera free? Was I actually able to control that? I don't want to press a button and skip stuff. Alright, what about the support crew?
We need backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I know. That's why I've requested the assistance of a military analyst named Nastasha Romanenko. She'll be providing you backup by codec.
A female analyst?
She's built up an impressive record as an advisor for the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert on high-tech weapons.
Where's she working from?
At her home in Los Angeles.
California. Seems like 1,000,000 miles away.
A lot of cool information there just popped up on the screen about her. What about Roy Campbell? What's your deal?
Colonel, you're retired. Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that really the only reason?
I've been soldiering for a long time. I don't know anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Colonel, you're a lousy liar. Tell me the real reason.
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank. A person very dear to me is being held hostage.
Who is it?
My niece, Meryl.
Yeah, so if it wasn't already clear, that is Roy Campbell, who was the commanding officer in Metal Gear 2. Now we're going to learn about Meryl, his niece.
What was your niece doing here?
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl. He died in the Gulf War, and since then I've been watching after her.
A personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm just an old man now. And I'm your friend.
Since when are we friends?
I've thought of us as friends since the fall of Zanzibar.
With my personality, I don't have too many friends.
That's what I trust about you. It's what makes you human. Please, Snake. Save my niece, Meryl.
All right. But I have two conditions.
Name them.
One, no more secrets between us. I want complete disclosure at all times. And two, I'll only accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing.
What?
I'm not a colonel anymore. Just a retired old warhorse.
I understand, Colonel.
Oh, that's kind of respectful right there. I like it. What about Dr. Naomi?
That doctor, is she part of this operation too?
She was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them naked?
Make no mistake, I'm not a nurse. I'm a scientist.
By the way, what was that injection for?
It's a combination of nanomachines and an anti-freezing peptide so that your blood and other bodily fluids don't freeze, even at subarctic temperatures.
Nanomachines?
Not just one kind, either. There are different types which will replenish the supply of adrenaline, nutrition, and sugar in your bloodstream.
Now I don't have to worry about food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics. A class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make me smarter, huh? Anything else?
Yes. Benzedrine. It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
Well, I guess I can call you when I'm ready to go on a diet.
You're welcome.
All right, detailed information on the hostages.
The chief of DARPA and the president of an arms manufacturing company. What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth is that secret exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group attacked.
Must be extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved. Were they testing some kind of new advanced weapon?
I'm not privy to that information.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
The DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to pick up his location on your radar.
All right, nuclear weapons.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say they do. They even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
Was the number confirmed?
I'm afraid so. At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal is equipped with a PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
PAL.
Permissive Action Link. The safety control system built into all nuclear weapons systems. But even so, we can't rest easy.
Why not?
Because the DARPA chief knows the detonation code.
But even if they have a nuclear warhead, it must have been removed from its missile. All the missiles on these disposal sites are supposed to be dismantled. It's not that easy to get your hands on an ICBM.
That used to be true. But since the end of the Cold War, you can get anything if you have enough money and the right connections.
What about the terrorist armament?
How well armed are these terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Foxhound.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
Terrorist demand.
So what exactly are they demanding?
A person's remains.
Remains?
That's right. To be more accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genomic information.
Cell specimens? Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Strengthened?
You've heard of the Human Genome Project. They've been mapping the human genome, and they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes. And using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
I'll explain this part. With gene therapy, we can remove those genes which we know may lead to sickness or disease, and at the same time splice in genes with beneficial effects, such as resistance to cancer, for example.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases, and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay. And so if you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genomic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
Genetic strengthening.
One of the greatest soldiers ever?
The man they call the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his incredible combat skill. So far, we've discovered about 60 of the so-called soldier genes.
So his body was recovered after all.
Yes, and his cells have remained frozen in a cryo chamber. His genomic information is a priceless treasure to mankind.
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
His body was burned severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile from just a single strand of his hair.
You people are amazing. And then you're gonna transplant those genes into soldiers?
Yes. We'll use a process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary factors are far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't give them his body. It's potentially more dangerous than all the nuclear warheads on that island put together.
I hear the terrorists are calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
The Sons of Big Boss?
So we got more Big Boss stuff going on. They're referring to him as the greatest soldier of the 20th century. So it seems like they want his remains in relation to all this genetic strengthening and stuff. Okay. Next generation special force unit.
Tell me about these next generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist special ops unit, made up of former members of biochem units, technical escort units, and the nuclear emergency surge team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving next-generation weapons of mass destruction, including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
Who's they?
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer heaven.
After that, they were merged with our own VR unit, Force 21, and retrained. If you ask me, these so-called next-generation special forces should be called simulated soldiers. They have no real battle experience.
Video game players, huh?
Don't forget they've all been strengthened with gene therapy. They carry genes which make them excellent soldiers. Don't get careless just because they don't have much experience.
I thought using genetically modified soldiers was prohibited by international law.
Yes, but those are just declarations, not actual treaties.
The interesting thing is that nearly every member of the unit conspired in this attack.
The reason for unanimous approval.
How How could an entire unit be subverted to rebellion?
They're calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The sons of Big Boss. But if they were regular Army, they must have been interviewed periodically by Army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on their psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they all took part in the uprising?
No. Several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently they consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Even the existence of this genome army is a national secret of the highest order. We've been hoping to investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors.
All right, now we have Unit Foxhound, which we've already heard a lot about because of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. Let's see what we have here.
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of. An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mantis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter.
Looks like a lovely bunch of folks.
And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
Yes. And you're the only person who can stand against him.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake. The man with the same code name as you.
Tell me what you know.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS. His job was to track down and destroy mobile Scud missile launching platforms. You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate Western Iraq with a platoon of Green Berets?
I was just a kid myself back then.
The details are classified, but it seems that originally he penetrated the Middle East as a sleeper for the SIS.
He was a spy for the British Secret Intelligence Service?
But he never once showed his face in Century House. He was taken prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years. After you retired, he was rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
I don't know his real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it. Here's a photo of him. Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise you two are exact duplicates.
I have a twin?
I don't know the details, but it seems so. That's why we really need you for this mission.
You're the only one who can beat him. Now that I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't. I can see it in your eyes.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
I like the start of that. I say Liquid Snake, and then they say it like 3 times or something. This is kind of funny. Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake. The man with...
All right, so that is our briefing. Quite a bit of information to go on there. We need to go to Shadow Moses Island, which has been taken over by these next generation, like gene-strengthened soldiers, these genome soldiers. We have like 19 hours left on the time limit because they said 24 hours and it's been 5 hours. Infiltration method, they're going to launch this as SVD, this single like one-man submersible vehicle. It's going to get us most of the way there, then we swim. Roy Campbell is in charge of us, basically. He's our commanding officer. We have Dr. Naomi. We have Meryl, who is Roy Campbell's niece. And she's involved. She's here. We're supposed to rescue her. Hostages, nuclear weapons, the terrorist armament. So the big thing here is that they're demanding the remains of Big Boss, and they're calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss. We have the Foxhound unit with Psycho Mantis, Decoy Octopus, Vulcan, Raven, Sniper Wolf, and Revolver Ocelot. And then we have the leader of everything is Liquid Snake, who is basically a duplicate of Snake, according to them. They look the same. So that's the quick information. There's a lot of cool information about Liquid Snake there. It said he had an IQ of like 180, and he was involved in the Gulf War and stuff. Lots of cool stuff there. It's all on the screen. I'm not going to read it over them talking, but there's a lot of cool information there. And that is it for the briefing.
I need to...
Oh, actually, no, that was something. Yeah, we got to go back in and do that. I thought I clicked on the wrong thing. No, there was a thing that plays when we exit. All right, let's do that. And then we'll get started.
I need to borrow your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Don't worry, just gonna clean myself up a little.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
So one thing to note is that it really looked like Snake had long blonde hair there, but we never really see that anywhere else, so I just think that's interesting. No, we don't need to worry about this. All right, so now that we've gone through all that, it's been almost 50 minutes. It's been 46 minutes. We got to do the right setup. You got to treat these games properly. You know, that's the way it is. So it's finally time to begin the actual game here of Metal Gear Solid. Let's get started. And we are going to go normal. Not in the mood to do extreme or hard, just to be honest. This game does a thing where, like, every time you beat a boss, your life gauge extends a little bit. And I think that's affected by difficulty. The amount of rations, which are your healing items, things like that, depend on the difficulty. We're just going to go with normal. You know, not too easy, not too hard. Let's get started.
I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface, but make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able
it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
I feel like there's one more thing I could have done before jumping in here. So let me see if I can do that real quick. We're gonna save, and we're gonna go back to the main menu real quick. Oh, whatever, it's the same thing. We're just gonna let it idle here for a moment. We can get another intro scene, which I think shows him with the submersible device and everything. It leads up to that point where he swims in. So, should have done that before we jumped in there, but let's check it out real quick before we actually get started with that. And it's gonna recap the briefing too, so it'll be nice.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by Next Generation Special Forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the President of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
All right, there's our little extra context of him getting there. Thank you so much for that follow, Roger XYZ. I appreciate it. And let's hop right back in here. Breaks the pacing a little bit, but we're back in here now. We're good to go. We are in control. You can come down here and grab a ration and go ahead and equip that. We can run around underwater. What a baller. We have a really long oxygen gauge too. So that's cool because you leave like footprints and stuff and they can track based on that. So we're gonna let this guy go around, go back the other way, and then we'll head out this way. So I gotta be careful with a couple of things here. If I step on this, it makes a lot of noise, the water. So I do gotta be careful, like just quickly running over it and stamping around. The other thing is I'll leave these footprints. My feet are still wet. Gotta be careful about that. Now he's gonna see my footprints.
Snake, there's an elevator there you can take up to the ground. You'll just have to wait for the elevator to come down. You better hide somewhere.
Yeah, if my footprints wore off enough, he won't get up here. Yeah, so we're good. We'll have to stay here for a little bit. The elevator will come down. We're good. So a little talk about this game before we get there is, first of all, the credits and stuff, very cinematic. My original history with this game was back in the 90s when it came out. Specifically, I think I might have played it already, like the demo or something, but I wanted it for myself, and I didn't have the actual game. But Pizza Hut had a promotion going where like you get pizza and they give you a demo disc of this game. And I had that demo disc and I must have played it like 100 times or more. I played the demo of this so many times. This is the demo. The demo starts you from the beginning of the game and it can last like an hour or so. It's a pretty substantial demo. But I had that demo disc. I loved the hell out of it. Played it so many times. And it was quite a while before actually getting the real game because, you know, as a kid, I couldn't get the game myself. Like I didn't have money or anything, you know? So I just had to wait until one day, like, my parents finally got it for me. And I played that demo disc so much. Like, we didn't really even get pizza very much when I was a kid. It was just like, I begged, like, we gotta get pizza, I need this demo disc. And Smokin' Dead Buck, you had that demo disc as well. It was the greatest. I probably still have it somewhere, too. Did the Pizza Hut one have Siphon Filter? Or was that like a jam pack or something? He starts booking it.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed.
Yo, he got in quick.
only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you two yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system. The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
Shame we didn't get a scene of him, like, vomiting them up or something.
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
And gameplay.
They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
Had to do it. All right. Yeah, this highly developed sense of vision that these genome soldiers have for up to 15 feet. It's pretty impressive. All right, so here we are. A lot of classic quotes there. Behind D. What's a Russian gunship doing here? The 5.56ers, a lot of classic stuff there. This was always a lot of fun because they'll track your footprints and stuff out here. So what, I mean, as a kid, I would just sit out here and like make them run in circles and follow me around one of these. Lots of fun. In fact, it's probably about to happen because that guy's coming down here.
Huh? Whose footprints are these?
Yep, we're gonna go this way now. Head up into the vehicle here. Get a little toy. SOCOM! We got this guy sleeping. You can see the Z's earlier from the binoculars. Good stuff. Alright, let's take a quick call here to... Let's call both of them. We like to do Kodak. You get a lot of extra context, right? You can ignore the Kodak for the most part in Metal Gear Solid games, but you get a lot of extra lore, backstory, interesting information, etc. if you keep up with that and call people. So we're going to take advantage of that. Saving a lot does affect your rank, but I don't really care about a rank. I'm not doing a challenge run, I'm doing a story run.
Good. You've got yourself a weapon. To use it, first hold down the R2 button to enter weapon mode. Then select the weapon you want with the directional button. After you've selected the weapon you want, let go of the R2 button to exit weapon mode.
Riveting.
The weapon you selected should appear in your hand. To use the weapon, follow the directions displayed in the window. If you use the R1 button, you can equip your weapon more quickly. While you're barehanded, press the R1 button to equip the last weapon you used. Press the R1 button while you're holding a weapon to be barehanded again.
We could almost just skip some of these.
Don't fire your gun needlessly, or you might be discovered. If you had a gun with a suppressor, it would be a different story. If you have any questions about weapons or equipment, you should ask our military analyst, Nastasha. Her frequency is 141.52.
Does that auto-save? No. Go back.
This is Nastasha Romanenko. A pleasure to work with you, Solid Snake.
You're the nuclear specialist that the Colonel mentioned?
That's me. You can ask me anything about nukes that you want. I am also a military analyst, so I have an extensive knowledge of weapon systems as well. They asked me to participate in this operation as a supervisor from the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. I was happy to accept. We must not allow terrorists to get their hands on nuclear weapons of any kind. I hope I can help you to stop them.
You're a tough lady.
Those terrorists are serious about launching a nuclear weapon? The world cannot stand by idly and allow that to happen, and neither can I. Unfortunately, all I can do from here is provide you with information.
Hopefully that'll be enough. Another soldier here wouldn't make a difference anyway. It's good to work with you, Nastasha.
Same here, Snake.
Yeah, we'll check one more time with Campbell.
Snake, your mission is to infiltrate, not to fight. Don't let the enemy see you. First, you've got to rescue the DARPA chief. Infiltrate the building in front. Look for some way to get in.
And now let's call Mei Ling.
You called, Snake? Snake, listen to what Lo Ji said. He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough. Just because you see an item doesn't mean that you always have to get it. If you don't really need it, think twice before you stick your neck out. It might not be worth it.
Alrighty. So, one of the common things is we'll go over to that side on the right. We'll do that in a little bit. There's some stuff over here, but you'll walk up to that and he'll comment on the surveillance camera. I think we can get that here too. But I just want to call attention that it often happens on the right-hand side there. Just for posterity.
Surveillance camera?
May or may not be relevant at another point. Alright, try not to get spotted by this. Cameras are a little weird to work around sometimes. Got it, alrighty. So that was the, I didn't even pay attention. That wasn't a... Oh, that's stun, yeah. I was like, I know what we're gonna get up here. And then let me confirm. Okay, no, I don't want the SOCOM out. Alright, so there's like 2 patterns these take. That's the close pattern. gonna go out here on the far pattern, grab the chaff grenades, shut down electronics with those. I think a lot of people didn't realize when this game, you know, when they played this when they were younger or something, that chaff is a real thing. Doesn't work exactly like it does in the game. Oh, we can get a call right here, can't we? No. Doesn't work exactly like in the game, where you just throw it out whenever from a grenade. But chaff is a real thing. It's basically strips of like aluminum and stuff that go up into the air, and they disrupt radar systems. So that's why they're used in game to disrupt electronics. I'm gonna let him move a little bit, and once he goes a little bit further, I think we're good. Yeah.
That base must have some kind of ventilation system to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires oxygen, there must be exhaust openings for that too. You're not gonna believe this, but they shot down the F-16s we were using as a diversion with a Hind D. Then we got a message from Liquid. He said if we try something like that again, he'll launch the nuke. Snake, hurry up and get in there. That Hind will be coming back soon.
One other thing I want to comment on is, like, spoilers and stuff. I have played all of these games, so I do know the story. I did just reference the camera thing and where it usually happens, because that's going to be an Easter egg, but I'm even going to refrain from doing a lot of that stuff. I just wanted to call that one out, because it's kind of a fun Easter egg that's going to show up one day. That's all I'm going to say on that, and I'm going to refrain from other stuff like that. I'm gonna stay away from spoilers and hints for future things, like, oh, wait until you find out about this, because that kind of spoils the experience. So we're gonna keep it just, like, almost like we've never played it before.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
So that's a name we've seen before. He showed up in the recaps of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, so that's not a brand new name. But if you don't read those recaps, you're just like, oh, there's some backstory that we don't know about. That's why it's good to read that stuff and understand the history.
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
Well, I called you for advice.
Snake, when you enter a narrow space, you'll automatically go into intrusion mode. Press up on the directional button to go forward, and down to retreat backwards. You can also press right or left to face either direction. Advance while hiding yourself. Pay attention to the enemy's actions and make sure you're not discovered.
But be careful. You can't attack while you're in intrusion mode either.
And even if you go into intrusion mode while you're being chased, the enemy's grenades will still follow you. Snake, first you've got to find the DARPA chief. Look for clues.
I like the idea of grenades following us, like sentient grenades. I don't think that's what he meant. So we can actually kind of look through here, but without analog controls. If I press down, I just do that. Like, I can't really get a good look up or down, which I guess up doesn't really matter. Actually, up is kind of okay, but yeah, down's not really helpful. We can kind of see out there we have some cameras. One on each side. We have some doorways. That one's open. Good stuff.
DARPA chief to the cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell?
So, okay, we actually could maybe see something else. I mean, there's nothing like special here, but that I can remember. Nah. Okay. I think if we went down on the bottom floor, we would see rats, and then you can actually talk to Miller about them, and he's like, these rats are whatever breed. He gives you all kinds of crazy information about them. Like, this is how they behave. We got a camera in there. This, you really have to put yourself into the mind of someone in the 90s, in the late 90s, like myself. I grew up playing Sega Genesis. You know, had Sonic and things like that, and Mortal Kombat, right? And even going into PlayStation, Crash Bandicoot, things like that. Cool, right? But this was something very different. A stealth-based game, like espionage, and it was very different than anything we had. All the cinematic, like, focus. I'll take the call.
Press the action button to drop down.
Yep, simple. But we want to get this. Oh, it's just a ration. We can't take it. Once we do boss, we should be able to get more rations. Up to 3 at that point. So something like this was very cinematic and focused on like story to a different degree than almost anything we'd seen before. That outside of like a JRPG or something, right? This really just kind of changed things. It was very impressive. And just crawling through vents and stuff, feeling like you're sneaking around. Like, it was something special. It still is.
Sorry, the Soliton radar won't work in a narrow space. Too much harmonic resonance. The radio waves produce interference, and we can't analyze the topographic data. Try to hang on until you get to a more open space, okay? Don't give up, Snake.
So she gives a lot of some information like that. We can get some more information as well, like some interesting stuff from her. That's why we want to keep up with the saves there. Tell me about the floor.
Use the elevator
No.
to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
Oh, that's a classic song right here. No need for chaff. Alright, we saw this room already from up in the vent back there. See that vent right in the middle there? We saw this open room, and I think we just also saw it from the vent we crawled through, so that's really cool stuff. I don't remember if there's anything I can get here. It probably is. Oh, I think I know what it is. I think I remember what this is now. Yeah. So those are going to come in handy. We can put them on the left side here. Pretty cool stuff. You actually see the dudes lighting up and all that. Alright. Is there anyone up here with me? Not right now, no. Someone gonna tell me about these floors. They make a lot of noise, right?
Don't make too much noise or you'll be spotted. Be careful when you're walking on that floor.
Exactly.
Snake, that floor is designed so that your footsteps echo. Listen, Snake, there's a way to walk so your footsteps won't be heard. I call it stalking. Here's how you do it. First, put your weight on the opposite foot that you're going to step with. Then, take a step so that your heel makes contact with the ground first. Then, as you slowly lower the tip of your foot to the floor, gradually shift your weight onto that foot. Use your knees to maintain the subtle balance. Try it.
I can't do it.
Another way is to wear your socks over your shoes. If you crawl on your stomach, you won't make any noise either.
No, one of those sounds easy. Crawling.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island was built at the beginning of this century. It was made only to temporarily store the nuclear warheads.
Why? If they wanted to dispose of them, why wouldn't they just dismantle them right away?
They cannot do that. You see, when you dismantle a warhead, you still have nuclear materials that must be stored. At this point, all of the nuclear material storage facilities are way past capacity. But they could not stop dismantling weapons while at the same time pushing Start 2.
So you're telling me that this base was built so they could temporarily avoid being in conflict with Start 2?
Most people think that we live in a safer world now. But with all the dismantled nuclear weapons and waste around, the threat of nuclear terrorism has increased tremendously.
It's ironic, isn't it?
So I forget what START actually means, but it is a, it's an acronym, right? But it is a nuclear treaty to basically agree to calm down with nuclear weapons. And that was a big deal when this game came out. That was, you know, still new information back then. But one thing I didn't mention, I forgot to mention that I don't think has been set up for us yet, is that this game, so we had Metal Gear in 1995, Metal Gear 2 was set in 99, and Metal Gear Solid is now set in 2005. So the real START treaty was a little bit before, was in the 90s, but they're talking about it here in a game that's set in 2005. It's like, well, when you set a game in the future, but you're still referencing topical things, it's some little oddities, I guess. It's not that big of a deal, but just commenting. By the way, this is still the demo. This is actually still part of the demo. We actually have a vent over here where we could have come in from the bottom. We had taken that route. Nothing here. Alright, I think we are probably safe to get to the elevator. Alright. I gotta remember it's B. It's a big old elevator. And we were told B1. Look at our radar here.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
Something I didn't do, but is kind of fun, is to play with the guards by knocking. But he can't hear you through the wall. I thought he actually could.
Snake, if you want to go up or down a ladder, just press the action button by the ladder.
Got it. I like how quick that tutorial is. This is how you climb the ladder. Have fun. Alright, let's do a couple quick calls just to check in.
It looks like the chief is being held in a cell. Find some way to get in there. Hurry up and get him out.
After the START 2 Accord was signed on January 3rd, 1993, Russia and the US reduced their strategic nuclear warheads to between 3,000 and 3,500 warheads each. They completely dismantled all of the ICBMs which contained MIRVs. As a result of that, there are over 15,000 dismantled nuclear warheads waiting to be disposed of.
That's all real info?
Soldiers that have been forged in the fires of battle are used to catching naps whenever and wherever they can. There's a big difference between real soldiers and those kids who have only been trained in VR simulators. After playing for a long time, you should get some rest too.
That's a common trope of Metal Gear Solid, is being like breaking the fourth wall a little bit. Like, hey, if you play the game a long time, you should take a rest too. What's going on, Wind Boss? Nowhere near. That's the answer to that. Nowhere near. Does Fallout have a MIRV? I don't remember. I guess it does.
Sorry, the Soliton radar won't work in a narrow space.
Let's bring in another one.
Don't give up, Snake.
Can't remember the exact... Oh, this is it.
Ugh, kinda damn cold. I hate Alaska. Boy, oh boy, that woman is built all right.
Yo, he didn't even flush. Either that or he just sits on toilets for fun. Little office here. Got something down there. I don't remember what's there, but I have an idea. We actually are coming up to the end of the demo. That's a pretty generous demo that they gave you back then.
Is that a woman? Not me.
By the way, Tusk, I mean, MIRVs are a real thing.
Snake, the DARPA chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode.
Maybe.
Who's that?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay? We were conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, It's grown into a huge joint project between Arms Tech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data and then proceed to mass production.
Arms Tech and DARPA.
If it hadn't been for the revolution.
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes. Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of Arms Tech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by Arms Tech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes. They cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Here, take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own electrical field.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? What is it?
Hey, what happened?
Dead.
Well, that's one objective failed.
Naomi, the chief. What happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but...
A heart attack? No.
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you, the Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
All right, 1 for 0.85. Yeah, we didn't save that yet, so let's call it, because that should be Naomi's.
Sorry, Snake, but it looks
No?
like the rescue was a failure.
What am I misreading?
There's no reason to stay in that cell anymore. Snake, get out of there and go to the second floor basement. You've got to rescue the president of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker, before the terrorists find out his detonation code.
Oh yeah, it is a... I was thinking... I knew this was 1 for 1.80, but I was thinking we also had 1 for 0.80, my bad.
They were conducting exercises with this new Metal Gear prototype? Is that what the DARPA chief said?
Yeah.
What the hell?
So you know about Metal Gear?
Just rumors. I heard it is some kind of walking tank that can deliver an accurate nuclear strike from any terrain. Mountains, deserts, swamps, wherever. But you are the real expert on Metal Gear, aren't you, Snake?
Yeah, I guess I am. But what about the PAL system that the DARPA chief mentioned?
It is a device attached to a nuclear weapon system to prevent the missile from being armed or launched. Usually, a secret detonation code or combination is necessary to launch the missile.
According to the chief, there are 2 codes, and the terrorists already know one of them.
The other code? If the terrorists find out that one too.
Yeah, I've got to hurry and rescue President Baker.
You say the DARPA chief is dead?
Yeah, according to Naomi, it was a heart attack.
It couldn't be. Well, it looks like all you can do now is find Kenneth Baker, the president of Arms Tech. He's in the second floor basement, isn't he?
Yeah, on the other side of that wall that was cemented over.
Okay. Good luck, Snake. You can do it.
And let's call Mei Ling, get a save.
The DARPA chief. Poor man. He has a heart attack right after you save him. I'm getting a bad feeling about this, Snake. Maybe you should let me save your mission.
Okay. So yeah, the DARPA chief is dead. As I said, that's one objective. You hear that? There's someone there. We can walk out now. Trying to get a look.
Don't move. So you killed the chief, you bastard. Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move.
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance, that scared look in your eyes. They're rookie's eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie.
You're not one of them, are you?
Open that door. You've got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed. What are you doing? Don't think! Shoot!
Alrighty. Let's give this a try here. Alright, we got our rations out, which is good. I'm trying to remember if you could just stun them or not. Who's calling?
Snake, what are you doing? Take care of the bad guys and get the hell out of there. You better use that weapon you found.
Oh, I am. Oh, they knocked me into that. Dude, it's... Okay, it's kind of hard to aim on this controller. I'll get used to it. It's the first time I've shot.
Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
I'm telling you, shoot!
Give me that ration. Oh, I'm out. Oh, I ran. Yeah, these fights can be a little bit rough on this game.
Thanks for the help.
Peace, I'm out.
Wait! Who are you? You fool! You've killed him!
I'm sorry, sir.
His mental shielding was very strong. I could not dive into his mind.
Now we'll never get that detonation code.
Boss, I have a good idea.
Ha!
Naomi, I just had some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
So that was Mantis.
Alright, so we can go back in here. Double check if there was anything to do. Look at this guy. Anything in here? Can't remember. No. Alright. So by the way, the demo would have ended right after the conversation with the DARPA chief, right when he dies. We wouldn't have had any other gameplay after that. That's where the demo is like, alright, you're done. You've seen enough. Get the game now. But it's still a pretty generous demo. We don't get any, like, stuff for calling, do we? Oh, we can't do it in first person. Never mind. Alright, let's talk to people real quick.
Snake, Psycho Mantis has the power to read people's minds. He got the DARPA chief's detonation code. Hurry up or he'll get Baker's code too.
That's right. If the terrorists get Baker's code, they'll be able to launch that nuke anytime they want.
Yeah, they'll use Metal Gear to do it. Colonel, did you know they were conducting a military exercise here using Metal Gear?
I didn't know.
Really?
Snake, you've got to understand. I'm just the middleman in this operation. Anyway, hurry up and get to the second floor basement. You've got to save the Arms Tech president before the terrorists find out his code.
Good. You found a SOCOM. That's a Special Operations Command pistol. It's It's a 45 caliber pistol with plenty of stopping power. It's also equipped with a LAM for nighttime combat. If you hold down the weapon button, you can train the laser sight on the enemy to help you aim. If you find a SOCOM suppressor, you can equip that too. That pistol was designed specifically for use by special forces, so I think it will be useful. Some people find it a little heavy and hard to use, but it shouldn't be a problem for you.
People's reaction speed is slowest around 3 o'clock in the morning. And so is their judgment. If you're feeling drowsy, you should get some sleep.
This man's really laying into it.
What can I do for you, Snake? Snake, like Shakespeare said, naught's had, all spent, what our desire is got without content. Basically, it means that your desire can get you into trouble if you're not careful. That goes for items, too. Don't get too greedy or you might be sorry. Be careful, Snake.
Alrighty, so I hate to do this right now, but I need to take a break, and it's going to be a bit of an extended break. I'm going to cut this out on the YouTube video, so it won't be a concern. But the short version of it is, I go to a festival every year, and I've got, 3 of the days secured, but the last ticket is going on sale in a few minutes, and I want to make sure I can grab that. So I need to go ahead and get in and get myself queued in there and all that. And I also have to go to the bathroom too, so it's going to be my own break. And it's also going to be me grabbing that ticket. So this might be like 20 minutes, unfortunately. But I think it's better to just do this now rather than getting into the next segment. This is a pretty good stopping point. I was hoping this would have went on for about another 5 minutes. But I think it's a good enough point, so I'm going to leave us here with this music. I'm going to go to the BRB screen, and like I said, it's going to be a little while. Actually, you might not... when I alt-tab out, you might not hear the music. If so, I'll play something manually, and at least leave, like, Dancing Mad on or something. And then I'll be back once I have the ticket. I will be refreshed. I've been having to go to the bathroom for a bit, and I was just like, well, I know when I'm taking a break anyway, so let's save it. So, again... I hate taking a big long break in the middle like this. Normally I try to make them closer to 5 minutes when I take a break, but we got to do it. So I'll chop this out on YouTube, and we'll just be right back at the gameplay. But here for the live stream, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, we are back. Apologize for that break. It was perfect timing for the entire Dancing Mad song to play. Got the ticket. It was actually one of the smoother experiences I've had getting tickets for that festival from that particular vendor. Not to go off on a big tangent, but basically the venue has the deal with the vendor. And the promoter that actually runs the festival is not the biggest fan of working with that vendor, but they have no choice because of the venue. There's been a lot of issues in the past, and this one actually went really smoothly for me. I got the ticket, I'm good to go. So now, let's begin, let's recap. So, just before that break there, we infiltrated... Thank you, Nuke. Hope you're doing alright. Very appropriate name given the game we're playing here. Nuka Citrus. So let's recap everything that happened in the first hour and a half or whatever. We've infiltrated here to Shadow Moses nuclear disposal facility, and our goals were to rescue Baker, the president of Arms Tech, and the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson. Well, Donald Anderson just died in front of us from a heart attack, so that's fun. We made our way in, we found him, we talked to him, he told us about Metal Gear. There are a couple sound bites that I have on my soundboard here that I've had up for ages, and I play them occasionally. Here's one of them.
You knew?
That comes from him, as well as the longer version.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. But you know that.
And the other one that came from that scene.
Metal Gear.
Every time for about the past 20 to about 25 years since I played this, anytime I say you knew, that's what I think of. So that's why I needed it on my soundboard, because I'll say that and I'll be like, wait a minute, my brain is on Metal Gear mode now. So he told us about Metal Gear. He told us that there are 2 codes to launch the nuke, basically, and they got one of them from him. Psycho Mantis read his mind. So that's great. Not really. And the other one is in Baker. And we're trying to find Baker before they can get the code from him. And it's also our objective to try to rescue him. So let's see if we can do that. We also saw this female soldier who was like pointing her gun at us, and then she helped us fight off some guys, and then she ran away and shot at us, and we saw some weird stuff there. So that was all fun. Speculate on that, have fun with that. The next bit is we need to go to the B2 level, and there's supposed to be some fake walls or something that they cemented over where Baker's at. So they've like sealed him off behind these fake walls or whatever. So we'll check it out. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah, and that guy there is like naked. Alrighty, so put the SOCOM up. There is a there's a thing you can do in future Metal Gear Solid games where when you just tap the button there, instead of opening the menu, it actually equips the last thing you had equipped. But we don't have that option here, unfortunately. He do be naked. Just sitting there with his butt up in the air. Alright, there's nothing else we could do here. So we need to go to the B2 floor, but we're gonna go up to the first floor and double check, now that I have this key card, was there anything that I could open with a level 1 key card up here? There were definitely some doors. Yo, what is up with the Twitch, the like stream manager, the mobile thing? It censors the weirdest things sometimes. Because I'm talking about that dude being naked, and Tusk says he do be naked, and it censored the word naked. There's a 1 over there. I don't know if there are any 1s up here, but we gotta get around this camera. There is a 1 here. Oh no. Cardboard box A. To heliport is written on it. Love it. So if I walk up here, this won't open. You actually need the card equipped. So that's unfortunate. It's just an annoyance. There is a level 2 door right there. We can see the 2. So I'm not even going to bother with going over there. Although, no, we don't need a ration. We're good. Let's try not to get spotted here. This camera always feels a bit tricky to get around. At least to me. And what I don't know is if there's anything else down here right now. Oh yeah, we saw this actually. There's a 1 here. Oh, this dude's sleeping. SOCOM suppressor. So now, oh, did it already equip? I think it did. Yeah, so the icon for the SOCOM changed. So let's go back here. See? You explore, you find things. B2. Look at that enhanced vision. Good thing they didn't spot me. This place is kind of goofy if I remember right. Oh, who... Oh, 9.6 is mainlaying, yeah.
The walls that were cemented over should look slightly different. Look at the walls carefully in first-person view mode. Try to find the walls that have a different pattern.
Did you try hitting the wall? Maybe it'll sound different too.
You'll need some kind of explosive to destroy the wall, like C4 or something. Take a good look around the armory.
PEL stands for a Permissive Action Link. It is a safety system attached to nuclear missile systems. The missile cannot be fired without the insertion of a special electronic code. But if the terrorists have found out the detonation codes, they can launch the missiles anytime they want.
It's also important to be able to control your bodily functions. You never know when a long demo is about to begin. So make sure you're prepared to sit in front of the monitor for a long time if necessary.
He's straight up telling us to not play the game too long. We're already past the demo of this game.
What can I do for you, Snake?
Give me a cool quote or something.
Snake, in China they say, you must cross the river before you tell the crocodile he has bad bread. Do you know what that means? It means that the wise man avoids danger first. Use your brain to avoid traps and stay away from the enemy.
All right, there we go. Tusk, YouTube has always had a policy like that. People have always been careful about cursing within the first, it's been about 30 seconds of the video or live stream for that reason. That's been a thing for a long time. I got this drink. How's it going, Rose? Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Because this place is kind of goofy. Hopefully I don't have any problems here. I don't want to spoil what it is, but we find out, we find out. Okay, I can walk in. I think I'm safe. Let's double check. Yeah, no, this is safe. That's our C4. Souls of Hawk. Been many years since I've played this. This is... it's been a while since I played this, but the one I haven't played in the longest is 3. I'm a bit different than like the average, not average, but like the consensus from a lot of people is that 3 is the best. It's actually a bit further down on my list. I think it's a good game, but I don't like it probably as much as most people. Grenades. The last one I played was 2. I know that for sure because I did it on stream. I'm doing okay, Rose. Always happy to be playing Metal Gear Solid. One of my favorite franchises, and, you know, glad to be running through the entire series here over the next couple of months on my Saturday and Sunday daytime streams. So there's some interesting stuff here. We've already seen this from first-person view, but I didn't call it out. See this wall here? It's all cracked. That one we may be able to open, but this wall, because I don't quite remember this one, but this wall, look how it's different versus the different sound. I think we may be able to pop up in those cracked walls too. So we'll try it. We need C4, and we can straight up put it on the wall here. So press weapon to set and action to detonate. And there we have it. So there's a couple of those in here, I believe, that we can pop open. Like here. I don't think there's any thermal stuff to worry about here, any lasers or anything. Chaff grenade is good. Can't really see what I'm doing. Yeah, here's one. Don't trust it. Ah, look at that. These are false floors. It's really goofy, but there are actually false floors in here. I'm curious if I can break through those cracked walls. I think I can, but I might be wrong. There's a lot of cracked walls that they can't all break. That's a bit too much. What kind of door is that? It's a level 4. We'll try this one here because I seem to have a memory of going through it. But yeah, no, I think I was wrong. Okay, that's fine. Can be wrong. All right, let's check out down here. I think we can actually look. No, we can't. All right. Jamming. Ah, I see it though. There is a another wall here. I'm pretty sure I know something that's on the way. That's why I keep checking. Right, we have 2 more that can be broken, and I wasted some. Hear that camera? Oops. I think I might need to go right, but we'll go... Actually, I can't remember anymore. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's why I second-guessed myself, because I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I do know where I need to go. Let's see if I can get any more C4 real quick. And then we'll go in that room, which looked pretty exciting. Maybe just a little exciting, whatever was going on in there. Yeah, that's it. Cool, so I can pop that other wall, no problem. Gotta love it. Let's see what everyone's up to.
President Baker should be somewhere around there. Hurry up and find him. Also, you can't use your radar there. Mayling says it's because of electronic jamming. If you want to know more, ask her.
Cool.
Is it possible to destroy the PAL system so that the missile can be fired even without inserting the detonation code?
I do not believe so. It is set up so that the warhead will become automatically inactive if any attempt is made to remove, deactivate, or destroy the PAL.
So unless the terrorists either learn the detonation codes or get their hands on the detonation code override keys, there's no way they can launch.
Do not be too sure. Any system can contain bugs or malfunctions. We cannot relax yet.
It's never a good idea to fight on too full a stomach. It'll make you logy, maybe even sleepy. You should wait 30 minutes after eating before you play.
This man is literally like a health advisor to like, don't game too much at once, guys.
Snake, you can't use your radar in that area. There's some kind of electronic jamming coming from there. I wonder what it is. Anyway, be careful. Be careful, Snake.
So I think, you know, we heard cameras. That's what I've been expecting. We heard cameras, so when I pop this wall, we're probably going to have cameras on the other side. And I'm gonna chaff. I don't know what this is, but let's go for it. No. It wore out a lot quicker than I thought. So again, chaff is a real thing, and that's about how it works, is, it's little, like aluminum particles and stuff in the air that just mess up radar. It messes with mostly like radar, but it's a real thing. Alrighty, now what is going on in here, huh? I wonder. It looks like C4 around the dude. All kinds of wires and stuff. I'll get that hydrate before we do this, because I don't want to do that stuff in the middle of the movies. All right.
Am I too late? He's alive. You're the Arms Tech president, Kenneth Baker, right? Don't worry. I'm here to save you.
No, don't touch it.
C4.
Right. Touch that wire, and the C4 will blow up along with the old man. So you're the one that the boss keeps talking about.
And you?
Special Operations Foxhound. Revolver Ocelot. I've been waiting for you, Solid Snake. Now we'll see if the man can live up to the legend. This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt's Single-Action Army. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves. Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver. Draw!
Alright, this fight's a little interesting because it kind of takes advantage of the camera.
Hiding won't help.
Save that. Damn it.
I love to reload during that. There's nothing like the feelings.
He was gonna do his horny speech about bullets.
Right. Let's go.
Yo, I'm whooping up on you. Come on, man.
Don't you want to settle this?
Oh, that was on him too. Hey, hit him.
I love the smell of corn.
I want this, but I don't want to.
But to you, it'll be the smell of your own.
Oh, we can actually get some info about him real quick before we end this.
If you've got a question about Foxhound, ask Dr. Naomi.
Revolver Ocelot is a former member of Spetsnaz. After the fall of the Soviet Union, he apparently served in the Russian tax police's elite SWAT team. After that, he joined the SVR, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Agency, which was formerly a part of the KGB. But according to my sources, he was dissatisfied with the rigid system of the KGB and wanted to get out. That's when he was recruited by Foxhound. He's a gun fanatic and totally obsessed with cowboy movies and spaghetti westerns. He's also something of a sadist. He learned the most advanced torture techniques while he was with Spetsnaz.
Yeah, he had plenty of practice. Lubyanka prison is located right there inside KGB headquarters. In a gunfight, reloading is usually the most dangerous time, but he loves it. Use that to your advantage. You'll have to take him out when he's reloading. Can you see where his number of remaining bullets is displayed on the screen? Wait for the right moment and then take him out.
He's using a single-action army? The first model of that gun was made in 1873, over 130 years ago. Today, they're still being made in small numbers, but that's just for collectors and such. Nobody uses them in combat anymore. The biggest drawback to revolver-style handguns is reload time. That's your chance.
The muzzle velocity of a bullet fired from a revolver is slower than one fired from an automatic. That's bad for you. The slower a gun's muzzle velocity, the more damage it does. That's because the bullet will tend to lodge in the body instead of going right through. Those kind of wounds take a long time to heal. Sometimes they never do. I think that's part of the reason he likes that gun. He's a real sick puppy, that Ocelot. The biggest drawback to a revolver is the reload time. That's your chance.
All right, little info there. Glad we could get that. Got him.
You're pretty good. Just what I'd expect from the man with the same code as the boss. It's been a long time since I had such a good fight, but I'm just getting warmed up. What? My hand! Stealth camouflage. Can't you even die right? You were lucky. We'll meet again. Who are you? I like you. I have no name. That exoskeleton.
Some of that looked a little weird.
Who are you? I'm not one of them. The DARPA chief told me he gave them his detonation code. What about yours?
Oh, I get it. Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
Answer my question. What about your code? There's no time.
I talked.
What? Now the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
It's not like I didn't fight. I managed to resist Psycho Mantis's mind probe.
He couldn't read you? How'd you do it?
Surgical implants in my brain.
Surgical implants?
Kind of like a psychic insulation. Everyone who knows these top secret codes has it.
Even the DARPA chief?
Of course.
But the DARPA chief said Mantis got his code by reading his mind.
Are you sure you heard him right?
Yeah, I'm sure. In that case, how did they get your code?
I never had any training on how to resist torture.
It looks like he had some fun with you, all right.
Oh, he's not human. I tell you, he loved every second of it.
What happened to your arm?
He broke it.
Looks like you're more than even now. His was sliced off.
Ha, you're a funny man. So the DARPA chief, is he okay?
Dead.
What? Can't be. You know, that's not what you promised, Jim. Now you want to shut me up?
Calm down. What's wrong with you? I just told you I was here to save you. I didn't kill the DARPA chief.
He had a heart attack or something.
A heart attack? Oh, don't be a fool.
Anyway, the terrorists have both codes now.
Those boys are totally insane. They wouldn't hesitate to launch.
I agree, but what do they really want?
Oh, who knows? Maybe they're like us in the arms industry, always looking forward to the next good war.
Well, I'm not gonna let these maniacs start a war today. You still have the card keys?
Card keys?
To override the detonation code. I heard you had them.
No, not anymore.
What? Who does then? Not the terrorists?
No, that woman.
Woman? Who?
A soldier that was thrown in prison along with me.
A female soldier, it must be.
She said she had just joined up as a new recruit. They threw her in prison because she refused to take part in the rebellion.
A new recruit? Could that be the Colonel's niece?
I gave her the key. Looks like she managed to break out of here, though. I hope she's okay.
I'm sure she is. She's green, but as tough as they come. But how did you know she escaped?
I was in contact with her by codec. Until I was tied up here, that is.
Codec?
Yes, she stole it from the guard. If she still has it, you should be able to contact her.
I'm sure she still has it. What frequency was she at?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, it's
gonna be a weird one.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Damn!
Oh, that's right. It should be on the back of the CD case. Try to contact her.
I'll contact her right away. But tell me, if this doesn't work, is there some other way to prevent the missile launch?
You need to find Hal Emmerich, one of my employees.
Who's that?
The team leader of the Metal Gear Rex project. A genius at engineering, but a little bit of an oddball. If there's anyone who can figure out how to stop Metal Gear from launching, it's him.
What if he can't come up with anything?
You'll have to destroy it. Emmerich knows how to destroy Metal Gear.
Where is this Emmerich?
Well, he's probably being held somewhere in the nuclear warhead storage building. It's north from here. That's where he worked.
I understand, but why Metal Gear? The nuclear age ended with the turn of the millennium.
Oh, you're wrong. The threat of nuclear war isn't gone. In fact, it's greater than it's ever been. The amount of spent nuclear fuel and plutonium is increasing even today. Listen, have you ever seen a warehouse full of nuclear material?
No.
Drums and drums of nuclear waste stacked this high, as far as you can see. Because there's still no real way to dispose of the stuff.
So they just close the lid and try to pretend like it'll go away?
Essentially, yes. And they're not even doing a good job of storing it. Many of the drums are corroded, with nuclear waste seeping out of them.
Unbelievable.
Not only that, but several pounds of MUF are reported every year.
MUF?
It stands for material unaccounted for. It proves that there's a large and well-organized black market in nuclear materials. Furthermore, since the end of the Cold War, Russian nuclear engineers in particular are out of work with no way to turn. In other words, there's plenty of available nuclear material and scientists for making a bomb. We live in an age when any small country can have a nuclear weapons program.
What about the other superpowers?
Russia and China still maintain a significant nuclear presence. Complete nuclear disarmament is an impossibility. To maintain our own policy of deterrence, we need a weapon of overwhelming power.
You mean Metal Gear?
Yes. You know our industry suffered quite a blow as a result of the cuts in military budgets due to this so-called peace.
I remember hearing a lot about mergers and takeovers among the big weapons makers.
Yes, and after my company lost their bid to produce the Air Force's next line of fighter jet, the Metal Gear system was our last ace in the hole. That's why we pushed to have Metal Gear developed as a black project.
Black project?
Secret projects paid for by the Pentagon's black budget. You can avoid a lot of red tape and get a great lead time on your weapons production. And no one can bother you. Not even those bleeding heart liberals on the Military Oversight Committee.
Bribes.
I prefer to think of it as good business. Anyway, Metal Gear was going to be formally adopted after the results of this exercise were analyzed.
I don't give a crap about you and your company.
Yes, that's about what I'd expect from a grunt like you. Here, this is what you came for, right?
What's that?
An optical disc. It's all here. The main hard drive was destroyed by gunfire. This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise. Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. They don't know this disc exists. Make sure you report this to Jim. To your boss. I'll give you my card too. It'll open up all security level 2 doors.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me. They got my password. They don't want anything else from me.
I have one more question. Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja? That was Foxhound's dark little secret.
Dark little secret?
An experimental genome soldier.
You know him?
You should ask Dr. Naomi Hunter from Foxhound. She knows better than I.
Naomi?
You've got to stop them. If it goes public, my company and I are finished.
What? Doesn't Metal Gear use currently existing technology?
Metal Gear itself does, but... What did you do to me? Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Those Pentagon bastards. So, they actually went and did it.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for...
What the hell?
Well, that's another failed objective.
Colonel, are you listening? Now he's dead too.
I have no idea.
Don't lie to me.
It looked like another heart attack, but...
Some kind of poison?
Well, there are lots of drugs that can cause a heart attack in large doses. For example, potassium chloride or dioxides, but we won't be able to tell without doing an autopsy.
Damn.
Snake, I want you and Meryl to work together.
Can I trust her?
More than you can trust me. Get in contact with her.
Snake, there's a lot of electrical interference coming from there. It should be okay if you do burst transmission like us, but normal transmission is probably impossible. Try moving away from that area.
Snake, get a hold of yourself.
Naomi, what the hell was that ninja thing? A member of Foxhound?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, we have no one like that in our unit.
Is that right?
Snake, I'm counting on you.
Watch this. Boom, we got extra life now. It's great. Let's check in on everybody real quick, then I'll respond to chat and stuff.
The DARPA chief and President Baker. So now the terrorists know both detonation codes.
Yeah, and on top of that, they both died right in front of my eyes.
Snake, now that the terrorists have both detonation codes, the only way to stop a nuclear launch is to either use the detonation code release keys that Meryl's holding, or
find the Metal Gear chief engineer that President Baker mentioned, Hal Emmerich.
In any case, you should contact Meryl by codec. Wasn't her frequency written on the back of the CD case?
Just hearing him say it.
It is just like Baker said. We are facing increasing danger from stored nuclear materials. You see, there are 3 elements necessary in the manufacture of nuclear weapons: nuclear materials, nuclear engineers, and manufacturing technology. All 3 of them can easily be acquired by either legal or illegal means. If you have enough money, that is.
First, the DARPA chief, and then President Baker die of a heart attack?
Yeah, smells pretty rotten to me. Master, do you know anything?
No, but there's definitely something going on. Keep your eyes open out there.
Snake, you can't use your radar in that area. There's some kind of electronic jamming coming from there. I wonder what it is. Anyway, be careful.
I guess I'll press a button. Are we frozen? I guess I'll start addressing chat. Oh, that's odd. I'll catch up on chat. So the first thing was saying that you remember the game from your childhood. I mean, same. I already gave the story, but you know, I probably played the demo like 100 times back in the day. And I'm wondering if I can remember the code without looking it up. I have an idea of what it might be. But one of my ideas was wrong because it was actually Nastasia's code, so we'll find out. I think I just answered that question by saying what I did, Nuke. I've played this game many times back in the day. And, yeah, that's it. So I'm treating it like a blind playthrough, though. I don't want to spoil things, right? Alright. So, we're still frozen here. I've pressed every button on the controller. So, even if I know the answer to something, like, I don't want to foreshadow it, like, wait until you find out this twist, you know, like, ooh, just keep this thing in mind, it's going to be the most important thing ever later. I don't want to do that, you know? I don't want to, you know, talk about things that haven't happened yet either. To me, like, hinting and foreshadowing is pretty bad as well, because that gives expectations. I guess I'm going to Alt F4 and just relaunch the game, so give me a moment. It is currently syncing. Let's make sure the audio is captured. Yep. That's unfortunate. Oh no, we're good, we're good. Alright, well... we got all the dialogue there, so... get some SOCOM bullets, and... now, I was gonna... you know, just recap on that a little bit. I mean, we just heard it from their dialogue, but... both of the guys we were sent to rescue are now dead. Ocelot's arm, Revolver Ocelot's arm got chopped off. The ninja thing... Naomi says she doesn't know anything. But, Baker there just very bluntly said that Naomi knows about it. It's a dark little secret of Foxhound. So that's fun. Figure more out about that later, I'm sure. And now we need to... one of the things we're doing is just trying to find, Hal Emmerich. So that's our biggest objective right now. As one of the ways that we can stop this launch and everything from happening. A lot of interesting stuff there concerning... here we go. This is something I've been waiting on. A lot of interesting stuff there concerning, like the arms industry. So this game and this series provides a lot of commentary on nuclear weapons, for one, that's pretty obvious. But the arms industry and stuff as a whole, it's very critical of these corporations who thrive off of war. Hopefully it doesn't turn good. Yeah, all these corporations thrive off of war, and the game is definitely taking a very critical stance against that. The whole franchise does. This was the C4? Oh no, well maybe it was, but it doesn't matter anymore. And we've been through there, and we've been through the other side. So I don't think I'm looking for anything there. I don't think there were any level 2 doors up above in B1, but we'll check it anyway, just to confirm. This was a 6, right? Yeah. Oh, the music here is really cool. The naked guy's gone. And there's no actual door down here, so we're good. Yeah. There is this, however. Free ration. I like it. Oh, and just to reiterate, I got the bot saying it every few minutes just to make sure. But I don't want to like talk over dialogue or movies or something. I don't want to just blabber on. I want to let them do their own thing. So I do read chat. I read it in real time. I see when you're saying things, but it just may take a little bit for me to get to something. So don't think I'm ignoring it. It's just I want to make sure we catch all the details. I mean, these games are... They're done in such a way where the dialogue and stuff can have a lot of important details in it. And I don't want to distract from that. Don't see me. That would have been my first sighting all game, but it didn't happen yet. We've been through here, I don't remember what it was. Might just be, no, it was the box. Now we have grenades. I think it was a box. Chaff grenades too, which are good. There is our level 2 door that I wanted to get to. It's gonna be a matter of figuring out this guy's route. Oh, I think I know what he does. This is my opportunity. And I think if I put the box here, he won't do anything. Actually... something in here. What is the red dot? So we got the mine detector, another ration. Can I activate this? What's up with this computer? Full hiding spot. And this is something we saw into earlier, though. I pointed out this office. I gotta be careful. When that guy goes up again to the top, that's when I'm gonna take my chance to get out of here. So I'll be waiting a little bit for that to happen, but... play it safe. Oh, he's turning. Come on, don't do that. Go back up. I think he will, yeah. That's his pattern. And he's gonna go up and left? No? Alright, I may need to just act now. Let's see what I can do here. Oh.
Mr. Buck.
Ah, he got me. I was hoping I could get just enough distance. That's fine, first spotting. Someone's gonna get me from this side, though. No use right now. I see, he almost got me again. That's fine. It's gonna happen eventually. Wasn't gonna be a perfect run. It's better than like DSP. Would have had 18 spottings already. Okay, right. I need to call Meryl too, so... Oops. I didn't say that. No response. Um, 52 is... Yeah. What would it be? Crap.
Who are you?
There it is.
I was really impressed with the way you busted yourself out of there.
The one from the prison?
You're the Colonel's niece, Meryl, right?
No, it's not him. Just exactly who are you?
I'm the fool that your uncle sent all alone into the middle of this whole mess.
You came by yourself? You think you're some kind of one-man army?
I don't need lectures. You're just like your uncle, you know?
How do you know my uncle?
We go way back.
What's your name?
My name's not important.
Aha! Could you be Snake? Are you Solid Snake?
That's what some people call me.
The legendary Solid Snake? You? Sorry about before. I wasn't sure if you were one of the good guys.
But I knew you were.
How?
It's your eyes.
My eyes?
They're not soldiers' eyes.
And they're rookies' eyes, right?
No, they're beautiful, compassionate eyes.
Oh, just what I'd expect from the legendary Solid Snake. You trying to sweep me off my feet?
Don't worry, you'll land back on them once you meet me. The reality is no match for the legend, I'm afraid.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Why did you look so surprised when you saw my face?
Because you look just like him.
You mean the terrorist leader, Liquid Snake?
Yeah, you know him? You're not brothers, are you?
I have no family.
So what's the deal then?
Who knows? Why don't you ask him? But first I want some information. You were involved in this exercise from the beginning. What exactly happened here?
I'm sorry. I was captured along with President Baker right after the terrorist attack.
That's okay. But what is this place? I don't think it's just a nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Boy, oh boy, it's just like them. Nobody told you anything, did they? Okay, you see, this place isn't really for disposing nuclear weapons. This base is owned and operated by a dummy corporation of arms tech.
This is a civilian base?
Right, for the development of Metal Gear.
Colonel.
Foxhound and the Next Generation Special Forces were called here for the test launching of a dummy nuclear warhead.
Why Foxhound?
Because they're a special ops group used to handling top secret missions. They figured they could help keep it all hush-hush.
But we must have fired nuclear warheads before. Why just this time?
I heard it was because this was to be a final test before the formal adoption of the Metal Gear program. Well, that's what I heard anyway.
Sounds kind of fishy. So what do you think the terrorists want?
Sorry, I'm not sure. I was captured with President Baker right after the revolt started.
Oh yeah, that's when he gave you the detonation code override keys, right?
That's right.
Amazing you were able to keep him hidden from the guards.
Well, women have more hiding places than men. Anyway, you met Baker, huh? How's he holding up?
He's dead.
What?
Heart attack. Same as the DARPA chief.
The chief died from a heart attack too?
Yeah. Was either of them sick or anything?
No, not that I heard of.
Well, I don't believe in coincidences. Something funny's going on.
Sounds like it, but I have no idea what.
Me neither. Yet. Do you know the person who designed Metal Gear?
You mean Dr. Emmerich?
Yes. Is he still alive?
Probably. He should be in the research lab in the second floor basement of the nuclear warhead storage building to the north.
Second floor basement?
Yeah, that's where his lab is. I think they're forcing him to work on the nuclear launching program.
So they'll need him alive until that's done anyway.
Then we better do something before he finishes.
You're right. In case we can't override the detonation code in time, I need to ask him how to destroy Metal Gear.
You plan to take that thing on by yourself, Snake?
It won't be the first time. What's the best way to get to the building where the doctor is being held?
There's a cargo door on the first floor of this building that leads to the north.
What's the security level of the door there?
5. But it's okay. I've got a level 5 card.
Well, I've got to go save the doctor. You should go.
I'm going with you.
No way. You're still too green. I want you to hide somewhere.
I'm not green.
Oh, yes, you are. You pause for just 1 second in front of your enemy and it's all over. Good luck doesn't last forever.
I don't know what happened. I just couldn't pull the trigger right away. I never had any problems in training, but when I thought about my bullets tearing through those soldiers' bodies, I hesitated.
Shooting at targets and shooting at living, breathing people are different.
Ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed about being a soldier. Every day of my life, I've trained my mind and body for the one day when I could finally see some real action. And now...
So what now? You want to quit?
I can't quit. I can't allow myself to quit now.
Listen, Meryl. Everybody feels sick the first time they kill someone. Unfortunately, killing is one of those things that gets easier the more you do it. In a war, all of mankind's worst emotions, worst traits come out. It's easy to forget what a sin is in the middle of a battlefield.
But this isn't a war. It's a terrorist action.
You're just a little jumpy from the combat high. The adrenaline in your bloodstream is starting to thin out. Just take it easy.
But I learned all about combat high at the academy.
We'll talk about it later. For now, just think about keeping yourself alive.
If I get out of here alive, I'll think about that other stuff.
Okay. Let me try to say this another way. Stay the hell out of my way.
You're a real bastard. Just like my uncle said.
Huh. I told you. The real me is no match for the legend.
It looks like you were right. Okay, Snake. I'll be a good girl.
We'll link up after I grab the doctor. Then we'll take care of the detonation code override.
Gotcha. But listen, I know this area better than you. Call me if you have any questions.
Be careful, okay?
After I open up the cargo door, I'll contact you.
Don't worry, Colonel. Meryl is fine.
Thank God.
Meryl is a very strong woman. I really respect her.
She's got plenty of heart.
Thanks, Snake.
Not so fast. The real mission is still ahead.
It is just like Baker said. We are facing increasing danger from stored nuclear materials. You see, there are 3 elements necessary in the manufacture of nuclear weapons: nuclear materials, nuclear engineers, and manufacturing technology. All 3 of them can easily be acquired by either legal or illegal means, if you have enough money, that is.
People who have been through war and survived develop a kind of sixth sense to warn them of danger. Trust your instincts as a soldier, as a gamer.
I forgot that he was so blunt about, like, breaking the fourth wall, telling you about, like, being healthy as a gamer.
Snake, don't be so impatient. Settle down. I need a little more time to get the cargo door open. I'll call you when I get the door open. Just wait a little, okay?
You code, Snake?
Yeah, don't break my game this time.
How's it going, Snake? Have you gotten used to using the radar yet?
Yeah, it's a great system. Not only can I read the topography, but I can monitor the movement of the bad guys, too.
Pretty convenient, huh? It also makes it easy for us to see everything that you're doing.
You're watching everything?
Of course. If you were my boyfriend, you'd never be able to cheat on me.
Being monitored 24 hours a day, that'd be like hell.
Don't think of it like that. At least you'd never get lost.
Alright, I'll get that drink. Alright. Let's kill some time. Just relax a little bit. Not get spotted by that dude. Is there anything under the tank? There was another tank in here. I didn't mention that. But I noticed it when we walked in here earlier. I was like, there was another, because it was at a weird angle. And it's gone now. I am probably too hydrated. I had a lot of water this morning. Forgot about that guy. He was sleeping earlier. Come on. There we go.
Snake, I unlocked the cargo door for you.
Thanks. Where are you?
Where I can see ya.
Don't move around too much.
Don't worry, I'm disguised in this enemy uniform.
You won't be for long with the way you walk.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
Listen, Snake, the cargo door is like an airlock. It's equipped with infrared sensors. Be careful. If an intruder is sensed, gas is released.
Gas?
Okay, so we'll meet at the nuclear warhead storage building.
Wait, you said you'd stay put and be a good girl.
I changed my mind.
Don't get careless. That's when things always turn sour.
Sorry, but this is the only way I can figure out whether or not I'm cut out to be a soldier. I gotta get my hands dirty.
These guys are professionals. You're gonna get yourself killed.
See you there.
No, don't worry about it, Rose. I was just commenting on what you said. I had like 3 of these bottles in about the hour before the stream started, so that's all I'm saying. I had a lot of water then.
Meryl contacted you, didn't she? Go through the cargo door in the north part of the hangar. Head for the Warhead storage building.
The thermal goggles work by thermal imaging instead of by amplifying light like the night vision goggles. They'll work just as well in complete darkness. Not only that, they can also penetrate optic stealth systems. You will be able to spot claymores too, but they will tire your eyes out, so do not use them too much.
Where I come from, a soldier who loses his head in combat is called a target.
The cargo door is open already. If you exit there and go north, you'll get to the Warhead storage building where Dr. Emmerich is being held. I'll head there now and wait for you. Hurry after me, okay?
Alright, mailing one more time.
What is it, Snake?
Just seeing if she has any quotes or anything.
Snake, have you ever heard the saying, friendly counsel cuts off many foes? It means that a little bit of advice from friends can save you a lot of trouble. You should think about it. If you're in trouble or if you need some information about something, please contact Colonel Campbell or someone else, okay?
We got it. Your A key is still working. I mean, that's good. At least kind of.
Be careful, Snake. That airlock is set with infrared sensors. You probably can't see them with your naked eyes, but there are infrared beams coming out of that wall. Touch any one of them and the doors will seal off and the place will be flooded with poison gas. Somehow you've got to get through without setting off those sensors.
I'm making sure I'm not mixing up which beam I'm looking at. Is there only one more? Not 2 more? Oh, there are 2 more. But they're not that bad. Alright. I know I've triggered those. Oh, there's another way to do that, by the way. I know I've triggered those before. It's never fun. You literally just get sealed off in there. It's not a good time. Nice open environment here.
There are claymore mines around there. Use a mine detector.
Who are you?
Just call me Deepthroat.
Deepthroat? The informant from the Watergate scandal?
Never mind about that.
You're not using burst transmission. Are you nearby?
Listen, there's a tank in front of your position waiting to ambush you.
Who are you anyway?
One of your fans.
Colonel, I got a codec call from someone outside this operation.
I know. We were monitoring the call. Meryl knows everything about the communication system, so let me have her explain it to you.
Well, if somebody knows your frequency, they can call you. But the question is, how did he learn it? It's top secret information.
So you mean someone leaked the information?
That's the only explanation I can think of.
Mei-Ling, do you know where that transmission originated from?
I'm sorry. The radio waves were too weak to locate their source, but I'm sure he's near you. Somewhere on the base.
Snake, you'll have to go through the minefield to advance.
That area is mined? After you locate the mines on your radar, crawl forward and retrieve them. Anti-personnel mines have killed over 20,000 non-combatants in the past 30 years. In countries like Cambodia and Nicaragua, the killing and maiming of innocent victims continues long after the wars have ended. It is easy to plant mines, you see, but removing them is a different matter. It requires more time and manpower than anyone is willing to invest. The superpowers need to donate more mine detectors and other equipment to remove them. It is the least we could do after laying them.
Master, does the name Deepthroat mean anything to you?
Deepthroat? What? You mean the guy from Watergate?
No, but he uses the same name. Whoever he is, he's not part of our operation, but he's been giving me advice by codec.
What?
On top of that, he wasn't using burst transmission. It seems he was transmitting from somewhere on this base.
Somewhere on the base?
Yes.
I have no idea who that could be.
I see.
The place is mined? Well, if you use a mine detector, you'll be able to see the mines displayed on your radar.
All right, there we go. I don't need to do a save right now. Yeah, I mean, I've done everything, Newt. I have played every single possible game. Except for Survive. This is one of my favorite franchises. Like I reference it all the time. For sure. I'll use it. I think we can also see it with the thermals, right? Yeah. See him there with the thermals. You just crawl right up to it. Pick it up. And we're good there. We've collected the mines. Yeah, the demo would have been over a long time ago, so me knowing how to contact Meryl and stuff, that's well after the demo.
That's right. You belong on the ground. You should crawl on the ground like the snake you are.
Not really a fair fight, I wouldn't say, but sure, let's do it. Alright, so this one's a bit odd. This is probably the fight I'm most not looking forward to. Ah, damn it, I tried to duck right as it happened. I might have been able to crawl the whole way. Yeah, I should have. My bad. Oof. There we go. What is this? Grenades? I should have stayed closer. Ow! Oh wait. I was looking at the tank and not paying attention to where I was at. Oh, come on. Got him. Yo, he's still shooting anyway. Damn it. Oh, we got him. Alright. Yeah, that fight's kind of goofy.
I hope you are happy. He got the card.
We'll play with him a little longer.
You would be wise not to underestimate him.
What did you think of him?
He is just as you said. In battle, he is as if possessed by a demon. Much like you, I would expect no less.
See? I told you so. But I will kill him.
So, General Ivan, I hear he took your hand as well as your dignity.
Watch your tongue, shaman.
In the language of the Sioux people, Sioux means snake. It is known as an animal to be feared.
Well, Snake is mine now. When I meet him next, I'll take special care of him.
Not yet. Don't kill him yet.
He and I will meet again in battle.
Same prediction as always?
Yes. The raven on my head. It thirsts for his blood.
Alright, bro. Yay, more life! We'll call everyone in just a moment. We got stuff to do. We got a card, and they wanted me to get the card, as we just heard, so that's going to be very interesting. So we do have a level 3 card, and I think there was a level 3 door I can go back for. So I'm actually going to do that in the armory. And we'll call up and check on people.
Snake, you've got to rescue Dr. Emmerich, the Metal Gear engineer.
He's probably being held prisoner in the second floor basement of the Warhead storage building.
They say that there are 500,000 nuclear engineers in the world. But after the end of the Cold War, the demand for nuclear engineers dropped precipitously. In the Eastern Bloc countries in particular, there is a tremendous brain drain. They cannot keep their scientists in the country. And each year, more and more nuclear engineers go to work for the highest bidder.
In war, a split second can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Don't ever hesitate. The slower you react, the greater the chance that you'll be beaten.
You're incredible, Snake. You single-handedly beat an M1 tank.
No big deal. But I'll bet that VR simulator you trained on didn't have any scenarios that put you one-on-one against a tank, did it?
No, but there was no scenario where I had to work alone with a Special Forces soldier against a group of terrorists either.
In real life, things never go the way you expect them to, especially on a battlefield.
I'm already holed up in the Warhead storage building. It looks like Dr. Emmerich is still fine, but I'm not sure for how much longer. Hurry up this way, okay?
Soon. Deepthroat, do you have anything to say? Probably not.
What can I do for you, Snake? In my parents' homeland, they say, if there are more wolves, the people are eaten. If there are more people, the wolves are eaten. That means the side with the greater numbers is usually the winner. You're badly outnumbered, Snake. Try not to let them see you.
Alrighty. Let's head back. I know it's a bit of a trek, but there were items out here that I didn't get. There was a ration over here, I believe. And I think there was a level 3 door, as I mentioned, so I'd like to get that door. Oh, I think you could use chaff to disrupt the tank. I forgot about that. Well, it's a little too late for it now. I think that's one of the things that makes it a bit easier on Extreme. I have done one Extreme run on this game before, and I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I've done a few on Metal Gear Solid 2, and I've done one on Metal Gear Solid 4. Three is actually the game I've played the least. This one's really slow. I know for a lot of people that's kind of crazy, playing 3 the least, because that's like a fan favorite. I actually like 2 more myself. But we'll talk about that when we get there. I'm pretty sure... Oh... Save that for later, but I'm pretty sure there's some things that change in here over time. Nikita launcher and Nikita missile. Beautiful. I think we can get some info on that from Nastasha. Just equip it and call her up or something. Gotta love that enhanced vision they have. It keeps you on edge. I don't think there were any doors I could take over here right now. I think the key card was like there's a 6 and a 4, yeah. So we came back for the Nikita. Let's equip it. And why no use? Is it because we're in a jamming area? Does it not let me use it?
self-controlled miniature reconnaissance missiles, sometimes called Nikita missiles. They've got CCD cameras in their nose cones. After you fire them, they'll transmit their visual data to your monitor. You can control their flight freely in all directions. But the missiles have a limited amount of fuel. Watch the gauge carefully. Press the first-person view button to see the missile's visual data. Use them wisely.
So we can actually see... well, I'm not going to fire one. I thought we could get another view there, but now we're good. Let's unequip that so we don't run around with it on. Damn it. We're going to cause problems. Yep, there's a false floor. That's what I was trying to say, like, this place changes over time. Because that wasn't there before, I don't think. Now we get to go back onto the other side. I probably take this more carefully than I need to, but I don't want to redo it. Oh, right, card. We'll just make sure there's no new mines or something showing up. I never trust it. Is the tank still here? It was a moment ago, yep. We're all under it. Is there anything down here? No. I like the look on the map. It's so weird and blocky. I love it. So 90s. Alright, back to the new stuff now. And we're in this area, so... actually, I think we'll get automatic dialogue in here. Yep.
Be careful. You absolutely must not use weapons in that area.
I've already programmed the nanomachine so that he won't be able to, Colonel.
What? What are you talking about?
Have you forgotten? That's where they keep the nuclear warheads. Don't you see them?
Yeah, there's lots of boxes piled up here, but are they all warheads?
Yes, they're all dismantled warheads.
They just leave them here? It's like President Baker said. Totally careless.
They're working on a limited budget. They try to put on a pretty face for the media, but this is the grim reality of it. Nastasha knows lots more about it than I do.
All of the warheads in those boxes have had their detonation mechanisms removed, so there's no fear of them exploding. But if the warheads are broken, they might leak plutonium, and that would be a serious problem.
Snake, never use your weapon on that floor.
Yeah, we should call Nastasha and get some more info.
Snake, that is a nuclear warhead storage area.
Are all these filled with nuclear warheads?
Yes, but their detonation mechanisms have been removed.
So I don't have to worry about this island turning into a pile of smoking rubble.
No, but if the casing is damaged, they may be leaking nuclear materials. Please, make sure you do not use your gun around there.
Here we are. We have a camera. We have some dude up top. Okay, it looks like we have two routes to get up top, which is going to be nice, helpful. Also, I just realized what I was seeing before. It wasn't... So I was in that office and I was like, what is this red dot in here? It was actually me seeing the floor below. Because we're seeing that right now with the stairs and stuff. Okay, we'll actually come back up here. I want to get to those stairs, but we're gonna have to circle back around. I could also be killing people. I could sneak up on them and break their neck, but I try to get as few kills as possible. So I think there is a fast travel system in this game as well. And I've never used it though. I think it's box related. Well, I know that it's box related, but I think it's if you get in the truck and put the box on and wait, I think that's how you do it. And it takes you to trucks in the other areas. So I think we can get a box in here that'll take us back to this area. And if I were to use my box in that truck, I'd go back to the heliport, because that's what the box is tied to. Can't go. It's the women's restroom, it won't let me. Level 5. Who's in here taking a leak? Ah, he didn't wash. He didn't wash his hands. Tell Campbell about it.
Snake, you've got to rescue Dr. Emmerich, the Metal Gear engineer.
He's probably being held prisoner in the second floor basement of the Warhead storage building.
Definitely a lot of stuff going on in there. Let's go where we're supposed to go. Probably should have seen me, but he didn't. What do we have in here? That's what we were just looking at.
Watch out. That place is filled with gas. Also, the floor is electrified. First, destroy the high voltage switch. It's the switchboard on the northwest wall.
But how? I can't reach it.
Use a remote-controlled missile.
For the time being, let's trust what Deepthroat told us. Use a remote-controlled missile to destroy the switchboard in the northwest section of the Warhead storage building's second-floor basement. Make sure your remote-controlled missile doesn't get shot down by those gun cameras.
Spoiler alert.
Just like Baker said, each year there are more and more cases of muff coming from the nuclear material storage facilities. That stands for material unaccounted for. It means that someone is stealing nuclear materials and probably selling them on the black market.
Military sea rations place an emphasis on calories. That's why it's best to use them along with some other type of nutritional supplement, such as vitamins or minerals.
Deepthroat? know anyone who calls himself that.
I see.
I wonder why he's trying to help you.
I have no idea.
A trap?
Could be, but for the time being, I'll have to trust him.
I'm gonna guess he has nothing to say.
You called Snake? Snake, like Confucius said, the cautious seldom err. If you proceed cautiously, you probably won't make a big mistake. Snake, even after you get used to the mission, don't lose your concentration.
Alrighty, so let's give this a try. So we'll fire, and we just straight up have control. Go around this way. And we're almost there. Boom, first try, look at that. Now, let me not suffocate. So we're no longer electrified. We can head in here and re-roam a little bit if we want. Rations are good. There's something in here. How am I supposed to do that without a chaff? Like, okay, we're good. Actually, I could just put the gas mask on. Oh, no, that's right. It goes down at a slower rate. So it's just there to annoy you. Alright, so we went in that one. Now we have a bunch of stuff over here. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a 3. Bunch of C4. Ow. Ow. I was hoping I wouldn't get seen, obviously. Alright, let's get back out of there and top up on oxygen. And we're good. Alright, I'm gonna leave us here for just a moment. We'll take a quick bathroom break, and then we will continue on for the last little chunk of the stream here, so I'll be right back. I got you on the drink real quick. And now we moving on. Let us see what we can do here. As a reminder, we're looking for Hal Emmerich. That may be him. We're told he's going to be on this floor. So let's find out. Well, that's interesting. Keep out. Bunch of stuff on the door there.
like they were cut by some type of blade.
It's a ghost.
Cool. Oh, we're no longer being jammed. That's a key card 4, but we can go through anyway because it's broken. Oh, I should have called people. Oh no. He peed himself.
Stealth camouflage? Who are you?
Where is my friend?
What are you talking about? Oh, what next?
Snake.
You're that ninja.
I've been waiting for you, Snake.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend. I am back from a world where such words are meaningless. I've removed all obstacles. Now you and I will battle to the death.
What do you want?
I've waited a long time for this day. Now I want to enjoy the moment.
What's with these guys? It's like one of my Japanese animes.
I've come from another world to do battle with you.
What is it, revenge?
It is nothing so trivial as revenge. A fight to the death with you. Only in that can my soul find respite. I will kill you, or you will kill me. It makes no difference. Fine. He can watch from inside there.
I need that man. Keep your hands off him.
Now, make me feel it. Make me feel alive again.
Oh, whoops. I was using the analog stick for some reason. That was a dumb mistake. Alright. Cyborg Ninja. Just says ninja on the side there. Let's run around and loot the battle arena. Chaff grenade. I have rations. Let's call people. Let's see what's going on. He really just said, it's like one of my Japanese animes.
If you have a question about members of Foxhound, you should ask Naomi.
I'm sorry, but there's no one in Foxhound like that. There are currently only 6 members of Foxhound. Psycho Mantis, Sniper Wolf, Vulcan Raven, Decoy Octopus, Revolver Ocelot, and finally Liquid Snake. The genome soldiers under his command are next-generation special forces. Foxhound is intended to be a small number of highly elite, hand-picked soldiers.
You're talking about the current Foxhound, right?
Yes.
Snake, who or what is that thing? Is he an enemy or not?
That's what I'd like to know. Naomi, you really don't have any idea?
Maybe I should ask you the same thing.
What?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Not suspicious at all.
Look at him move. He must have some kind of powered exoskeleton.
Powered exoskeleton? You mean like prosthetic arms and legs?
No. Prosthetics are intended to replace original body parts. That ninja's exoskeleton makes him far stronger than any normal human. He is a true cyborg, a cybernetic organism.
So he's half machine, huh?
I heard rumors about the experiments, but I had no idea that such a creature really existed.
He's just playing with you. Why don't you try throwing away your weapons?
Ninja? I've never heard of any member of Foxhound like that. But you're gonna have to do something about him if you want to save Dr. Emmerich.
All right. So they just told us something interesting. Why don't we try throwing away our weapons? We can still punch when we have the weapon out. I was gonna say, I think there is something to that. If we go here and we shoot, yeah, he like deflects it.
Snake, you can't defeat me with a weapon like that.
Come at me, bro. Ow.
Good. Now we can fight as warriors. Hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat. Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon.
There we go. I should probably not have my card equipped. Should probably make sure I have a ration on. Yeah, very sus though. Very sus indeed. Bro, you said you don't use weapons. Lion ass. Caught your ass in a lie. Trying to break him out of the locker. Come on. Bro, I'm punching you. There, I took it off. But he really went flying. There we go. Oh! Yep, I saw it too late though. I was caught in the animation. Come on, get dunked on. Ow. I hope they give me more rations.
That's good, Snake. Hurry up and catch me. I'm here, Snake. Where are you looking?
Oh, it's the chair. I thought I saw him there.
Hurry up and catch me.
I think I heard him to the left. Gotcha.
Like old times. I've been waiting for this pain.
Oh, he's one of those. He's all freaky.
Hurt me more.
I think he's getting off to this.
That's it. I remember that punch. Do you remember, Snake? The feel of battle. The clashing of bone and sinew. That
Oh, he got that big punch. Hurt me more, Daddy.
That's good, Snake.
Bait him. Combo. Bait. Combo. Is that it? Still has life. That really hurt me. I think I can maybe shoot. Oh, was that it? Oh no. Wait. Can I chaff him? Nothing seems to be happening now. There we go.
I felt that, Snake. Do you remember me now?
Can't be. You were killed in Zanzibar. What? Not again. What's happening?
Is it over?
Gray Fox. Colonel, that ninja is Gray Fox. No doubt about it.
Ridiculous. You of all people should know he died in Zanzibar.
No. He should have died, but he didn't.
What?
It happened before I joined Foxhound's medical staff. They were using a soldier for their gene therapy experiments.
I never heard that.
It happened right after you retired. My predecessor, Dr. Clark, was in charge.
Dr. Clark?
Yes. He started the gene therapy project.
And where is he now?
He was killed in an explosion in his lab 2 years ago.
So what about this soldier?
Apparently, for their test subject, they decided to use the body of a soldier who was recovered after the fall of Zanzibar.
And that was Gray Fox.
But he was already dead.
Yes. But they revived him. They fitted him with a prototype exoskeleton and kept him drugged for 4 years while they experimented on him like a plaything. Today's genome soldiers were born from those experiments.
That's the sickest thing I ever heard.
They used him to test all sorts of gene therapy techniques.
Naomi, why didn't you tell us about this sooner?
Because it's confidential information.
Is that the only reason?
Naomi, what happened to Gray Fox after that?
The record says he died in the explosion.
I see. But even if that ninja is Gray Fox, the question is, why?
From what I could tell, he didn't know who he was.
Are you saying that he's just a mindless robot?
I'm not sure, but he seems intent on fighting me to the death. We'll meet again. I know it.
So you'll fight again? Until you kill him?
I'd rather not. But maybe that's what he wants. How long are you gonna stay in there?
Are you one of them?
No, I'm not. I always work alone.
Alone? Are you an otaku too?
Come on, get out. We can't stay here forever.
Your uniform is different than theirs.
You're the Metal Gear chief engineer, Hal Emmerich, right?
You know me?
I heard about you from Meryl.
Oh, so you're here to rescue me?
Sorry, but no. There's something that I've got to do first.
Oh, well, at least you're not one of them.
Huh. Are you hurt?
I'm okay. I just twisted my ankle a little bit trying to get away.
Well, if that's all, it's nothing to worry about. I want to ask you something. I need information about Metal Gear.
Huh? Metal Gear?
Yeah. What's Metal Gear really designed for?
It's a mobile TMD. It's designed to shoot down nuclear missiles. Only for defensive purposes, of course.
Fire! I already know that Metal Gear is nothing but a nuclear-equipped walking deathmobile.
Nuclear? What are you talking about?
The terrorists are planning to use Metal Gear to launch a nuclear missile. You telling me you didn't know?
They're gonna put a dismantled warhead into Metal Gear's TMD missile module?
Wrong. From the beginning, the purpose of this exercise was to test Metal Gear's nuclear launch capability using a dummy nuclear warhead. The terrorists are just continuing the work you started.
No, you're wrong.
I heard it directly from your boss, Baker.
No. A nuclear missile on Rex?
So you really didn't know?
No. All the armament was built by a separate department, and the president personally supervised the final assembly of the main unit.
President Baker?
Yeah. I was never told exactly what they armed Rex with. I only know it's equipped with a Vulcan cannon, a laser, and a railgun.
A railgun, you said?
Yeah. It uses magnets to fire bullets at extremely high velocities. The technology was originally developed for the SDI system and later scrapped. We were successful in miniaturizing it in a joint venture between ArmsTech and Rivermore National Labs. The railgun is on Rex's right arm.
Metal Gear's main function is to launch nuclear missiles. You sure you're not forgetting something?
It's true that Metal Gear has a missile module on his back that can carry up to 8 missiles, but are you saying it was originally meant to carry nuclear missiles?
Yeah, but that's not all I think. If Metal Gear fired only standard nuclear missiles, then they should already have all the practical data they need.
No. Could it be? Metal Gear's co-developer, Rivermore National Labs, was working on a new type of nuclear weapon. They were using NOVA and NIF laser nuclear fusion testing equipment and supercomputers.
So they developed a new type of nuclear weapon in a VR testing lab, huh?
Yes, but you can't use virtual data on a battlefield. They would need actual launch data. These are some of the supercomputers. If you link these, you can test everything in a virtual environment, but it's all just theoretical.
So this exercise was designed to test the real thing.
What did our president do? If the terrorists launched that thing... Damn! Damn! I'm such a fool. It's all my fault. The truth is, my grandfather was part of the Manhattan Project. He suffered with the guilt for the rest of his life. And my father, he was born on August 6th, 1945.
The day of the Hiroshima bomb. God's got a sense of humor, all right.
3 generations of Emmerich men. We must have the curse of nuclear weapons written into our DNA. I used to think that I could use science to help mankind, but the one that wound up getting used was me. Using science to help mankind, it's just in the movies.
That's enough crying. Pull yourself together. Where is Metal Gear? Where on this base are they keeping it?
Rex is in the underground maintenance base.
Where's that?
North of the communications tower, but it's a long way there.
The emergency override system for the detonation code is there too?
Yeah, in the maintenance base control room. You'd better hurry. If they were planning a launch from the start, then their ballistic program is probably finished. And since they haven't called for me in a few hours, they must not need me. In other words, they must be ready to launch.
Meryl's got the detonation code override keys. We'll link up with her.
If we can't override the launch, we'll have to destroy Rex. I'll show you the way.
On that leg of yours, you'll just slow me down.
You'll need me if you're gonna destroy Rex.
I don't need you. I just need your brain.
I created Rex. It's my right, my duty to destroy him.
If you get a chance, try to escape. When the coast is clear, I'll contact you by codec.
How am I supposed to escape from an island?
Okay.
So what then?
I want you to hide somewhere and keep me informed. You know this place well, don't you?
Of course I do. And don't worry, I've got this. It's the same stealth technology as the Ninja. Foxhound was gonna use them, but with this I'll be fine. Bad leg and all.
Good. But I want Meryl to watch after you too. Meryl, the engineer's okay.
That's a relief.
I want you to look after him. Where are you now?
Very close.
There she is! Over there!
Oh no! Damn, they've spotted me!
Meryl, what happened? Something's wrong.
Did you hear something? Wasn't that some kind of music?
What did she look like?
She was wearing the same green uniform as the terrorists.
A disguise?
She had such a cute way of walking. She kind of wiggles her behind.
You were really looking.
Well, she's got a very cute behind.
Way of walking, huh?
If she's disguised as the enemy, you'll have to contact her when she's alone, huh? There's only one place where we can be sure she's by herself.
Where's that?
Don't be so dense. Here, use this security card. It's security level 4.
You're not in pain, are you?
Huh?
You feel okay? Nothing bothering you?
What's wrong? Getting all friendly all of a sudden.
No, nothing. I'm glad you're okay.
You're strange.
I'm a little nervous. Everyone else I've saved suddenly dies.
You're bad luck.
Forget it, Doctor.
Call me Otacon.
Otacon?
It stands for Otaku Convention. An otaku's a guy like me who likes Japanimation. Japan was the first country to successfully make bipedal robots. They're still the best in the field of robotics.
And Japanese cartoons played some part in that?
They did. I didn't get into science to make nuclear weapons, you know.
That's what all scientists say.
I became a scientist because I wanted to make robots like the ones in the Japanese animes. Really, it's true.
Just sounds like a childish excuse to me.
You're right. We have to take responsibility. Science has always thrived on war. Greatest weapons of mass destruction were created by scientists who wanted to be famous. But that's all over now. I won't take part in murder anymore.
Whatever. All I want from you is information.
Sure. I know everything about this whole base. Ask me anything about Rex or about this place. Also, with this stealth camouflage, I can sneak in and out of the armory and mess hall. If you need ammo or rations, just tell me and I'll bring them to you. I'm on frequency 141.12. See you later.
I actually remembered that frequency. Why does the brain remember such strange things? Get that extra life. So every time we do that, we can also like hold more things as well. We used to have 9 on like the grenades, now we can do 12. We got a bit of an improvement there. Hal Emmerich. He's a weeb. He likes anime a lot, so much that he got into science so he could make robots. And he wanted us to call him Otacon for Otaku Convention. Cyborg Ninja, was actually Gray Fox, who after the incident in Zanzibar Land, which we read about before starting up the game, in Metal Gear 2, he was killed by Solid Snake here, but they brought him back to life and they experimented on him and turned him into that cyborg ninja that we've seen now. And he seems to be going a bit crazy. He even mentioned the medicine for a moment there, so very interesting. And there, you know, it's reasons like that is why I went and read all the info about the first two games, about Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, just to make sure there was some background before getting into this. We're gonna wrap up here in a few minutes. We'll head out. We'll head out this way, but we're gonna wrap up here in a few minutes. This is a good spot. I go for about 4 hours usually, sometimes a little extra. Seems like kind of makes sense now. I'm not seeing the camera. Okay, it's on a different, yeah, it's a different map. So we have a keycard 4 now. We're getting these keycards very quickly. That's a 3, that's a 4. Stun G, stun grenade. Anything in here? Nope. Let's go back up here, let's get some oxygen. And I don't quite remember the doors on the left there. So we're gonna have to go shaft through there and see if there was a 4 in there or not. So we have a 6, a 3, a 3, and a 4. Night vision goggles, there we go. Nothing up here for me. One more thing, actually. Nope, never mind. I knew we could climb under, but I didn't know if there was going to be anything down there. So we're supposed to find Meryl. I know where she's at, but we're not going to do that quite yet. We'll go up to the next floor. I'll probably leave it off there. Actually, let's call everyone first.
Well, it looks like you've rescued Emmerich for the time being.
Yeah, with that stealth camouflage, he should be able to hide safely. Gray Fox. I can't believe it. But the real problem is your niece. The way the codec got cut off like that has me worried. Something must have happened to her.
You're worried about Meryl?
Not exactly. It's just that she's holding the detonation code override keys. They're our last chance of stopping that nuclear launch.
You're a cold man. Your mission is more important than the life of your companions?
This is war. Survival is the name of the game. Sometimes you have to be cold to survive.
Yes, but...
Snake, either way, I want you to find Meryl as soon as possible.
I understand. Otacon said that now it's possible to design and test new types of nuclear weapons in a virtual simulation without ever exploding a nuclear device. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. Since the establishment of DART and NEEF early in the 21st century, there has been a wealth of data concerning nuclear fission and fusion. There is also much data accumulated from the nuclear tests conducted over the last 4 decades. With the processing speed of today's supercomputers, they can design a new nuclear weapon through virtual reality computer simulations.
That inner voice that warns you when danger is nearby. You can't learn that in training. You've got to have survived a few firefights, seen a few friends blown away, before you learn that trick.
Ah, sounds great. No response, of course. No response. We'll go up to the next floor and we'll save there, because I don't know where it's going to spawn me on this when I load in next time.
Einstein said that only a life lived for others is worth living. That's why I entered MIT instead of Princeton or Vassar like my friends. I wanted to do applied physics, not just theoretical stuff. I wanted to make things for people. The Soliton radar system or the Codex system. I just wanted to make something that would be useful for people. I think that it was the same for Dr. Emmerich too. But he was used like a tool, used to make a horrible killing machine. Maybe it would be better if engineers like us just stopped making things. I don't know.
Alright, a little awkward silence to end it. Alright, so that is it for this first session of Metal Gear Solid. Not bad. Well, I'm not going to go into any details on anything coming up next. Again, I have played this, plenty of times in the past. I know what's happening. I'm going to keep this blind, basically, where if somebody were watching this that doesn't know what's going on, I don't want to spoil things, right? So, let's not kind of talk about anything that's coming up next, or any expectations or anything like that that would be leading. So I'll just say the kind of recap on where we're at now. We've infiltrated Shadow Moses to rescue the DARPA chief, Donald Henderson, and the president of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker, who both died of heart attacks after we found them. We had a fight with Revolver Ocelot. Cyborg Ninja comes and cuts his arm off. That was fun. We got in contact with Meryl, who is helping us. We fought in that tank. We encountered Vulcan Raven, the shaman. And I don't know if his name was 100% specified, but everything was there. We've seen the picture of him before. In the dialogue, he was referred to as shaman. The Raven imagery was there with all the ravens around him and stuff. So I don't think that's a big stretch to say that we've seen Vulcan Raven there. He's obviously still alive. They wanted us to get a card, which is odd. So there's something going on there. We have made contact with Hal Emmerich, or Otacon, the chief engineer behind this Metal Gear, and he's gonna help us stop it. We fought Cyborg Ninja, who turned out to be Gray Fox. There's a lot of stuff going on. That's like the brief, quick recap. So at this point, we need to find Meryl. That is our current objective. She's going to be able to help us getting the cards and stuff that we need. But she got abruptly cut off. So that's where we're going to be picking up tomorrow morning at the same time as today. So in about 20 hours from now, 10 a.m. my time. As for today, I will be back in about 4 hours with another Caves of Cud session where I'm continuing my Esper run. So if you like Metal Gear Solid, I'm going to be going through the entire series, the entire franchise on my Saturday, Sunday day streams. So I will be... This is going to be a long project. You know, a minimum even for the shortest games. Well, I don't want to get into specifics on what to expect, but I think it's going to be, you know, a few months of, you know, maybe 4 months, 5 months to get through all of this. So it's going to be a while. But I'm really excited. It's one of my favorite franchises. I'm very excited to re-experience a lot of these games, especially this one and 3 that I haven't played in the longest. I've played 2 much more recently. I played 4 a few years ago. I replayed 4. And I did 5 on stream back in 2020. So definitely some of those are a little more recent. 3 I probably haven't played in more than 10 years though. So really going to take me back there. I'm really excited about it. But if you like Metal Gear Solid, if you like I said, I'm playing Caves of Cud later. I play Genshin Impact every Sunday night. I do coding streams Monday, Wednesday. I'm also doing Dwarf Fortress Tuesday, Thursday. If you like stuff like that, I mean, I play all kinds of games. That's what's going on right now. You can hit the follow button to catch more. You can also head over to YouTube, where the videos go up 2 weeks after they're live here on Twitch. And you can do all the fun stuff while you're over there, or if you're in the future. Congrats on being in the future when you're watching this. But you can do all the fun stuff, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. I do read and respond to my comments. I really appreciate them. You can also go follow me on Twitter and turn the notifications on there if you want. Mainly, it is where I tweet when I go live. Although I think I missed it today. I think I did because I was doing extra preparation for this game, so that's on me. I had a lot of extra things going on today, getting the scene correct for this game where it wouldn't stretch it out and distort it, and I think I missed it today, which is an oops. But I do normally tweet when I go live. So you can see it there. I've had people in the past complain that Twitch notifications are really delayed for them, so that's an option. Alright, that does it for the outro. I am going to go get some food. I am hungry. Yeah, see, Tusk just says Twitch notifications suck. And by the way, Rose, thank you for hanging out and everything again. Appreciate you being here. Same for you, Tusk. Nuke was here earlier. We had Zeus in here earlier. Had a good handful of people showing up. Can't remember everyone's name off the top of my head right now, but we had a good handful of people rotating in and out, so appreciate all you guys jumping in. And like I said, I will be back tomorrow morning in about 20 hours from now, 10 a.m. Central. I guess 19 hours, 45 minutes. Yep. So until then, until next time, have a good day, have a good night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Take it easy. Tusk says they're sometimes so late that they decide to give a notification at the end of stream. I don't have that problem, Tusk, but I mean, you complained about it, and I had a couple other people complain about it. For me, they've always been pretty accurate. But that's why I started saying that. You know, you could catch the Twitter notifications, which are pretty reliable. But you haven't had one in a while, so that's good. Alright, like I said, take it easy. Oh, also, Otacon was talking about watching Meryl's butt and stuff, so let's give him a bonk.
Oh no,